Hey, what's happening, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. Today, guys, we are going to be talking about unfortunate another case, um, Katilyn Benfield, another missing teenager. Very sadly, we're going to get the word out there and talk a little bit about how that's been going. And if everything goes well, I do believe we're going to have her mother, Amy, on tomorrow with us, and we're going to talk with Amy and then talk about the case and so on and so forth. But I just want to get the word out today and get everybody looking at it so far so that we can get rolling with it and get the word moving along to hurry up and get Katie Lynn, my apologies, Katie Lynn brought home as soon as we can. And we will be having an open discussion, live call in regards to most likely what's going on in Sebastian's case, a couple other things we're going to look at. So thank you for joining me. And as always, let's get this show on the road. Here we go. What up? How's everybody doing today? I hope you're all having a great day, and thank you for joining me. And yes, I changed my microphone out again because the other one started acting all crazy last night and went fuzzy. So I'm sorry. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let's see if that makes a difference. How about now? Can you hear me now? Anyway, I have to get a new microphone, period. A good one that is going to last me for a while. So until then, please, if you will, just bear with me. I'm trying to make it work the best I can. I promise. And let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough, and I will fix that too. Come on in, everybody, if you will. We got 61 people here with 40 likes. Let's get this liked up, guys, and get it in the algorithm. We have somebody new to talk about today, and it's very important that we do. Katie Lynn Benfield. Um, I just got off the phone with her mom, Amy, and we're gonna bring her in tomorrow and have a conversation with her about what's been going on. My understanding is the police department, the local police department, is not cooperating, is in doing anything to help her, and that's horrible. So that's why we're doing this. Arctic Fox just put this out a little while ago. And I'm going to do it again today, and we're going to do it again tomorrow, and we're going to keep on doing it until somebody says, let's go get Katilyn and bring her home. I'll be contacting the Newton Police Department as well to find out what's going on and why is this taking so long. And I know there's different things that make different things happen. I get it, guys, but she's 14. She's not 18. She's not 21. She's 14. She's still a child. She needs to come home, period. So that's what we're going to be doing. Excuse me, you guys. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Get that information out there and get it rocking and rolling throughout all of you and all of YouTube and get everybody seeing Katilyn in space. And then tomorrow, we are going to get it, add to it, get a little bit more of the story going, figure out what's going on, and see what we can do to help Amy bring her daughter home. So, and I got to thank Arctic Fox for helping me with the information and getting things rolling on that one as well. Very much. Again, another great channel, Arctic Fox True Crime. If we can drop his link in here, please. I'm going to be trying to work with him as much as I can, as well as Duchess and other creators that are doing what we're doing. So much as we can to work together to make these things happen. There's so much of it out there. I'll be running something towards the end of the show I want you guys to hang around for and pay attention to, guys. It's very important to me. One of my producers put it together. She's very great job she did on it, Doodlebug, and it's something I'm going to be running on all of my shows from here on out. And I want you guys to take a look at it, please. Excuse me. So come on in, everybody. Again, if we can drop Arctic's link in here, guys, and get that rolling. Please, if you haven't, go over there and check out Arctic Fox True Crime. I was really disappointed. This man went live and put this out there, and there was 12 people in there. I don't like that. There needs to be a lot more people than seeing that. So we need to go over there, subscribe, you guys, show some love, hit that bell so that when he does go live, we can check it out because he's got a lot of important stuff he's putting out there. So all of us need to be getting the word out throughout all of this. So please, if you will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see who we have gracing us with their amazing and beautiful presences today. Looks like Miss Cassie. Hello. How are ya? The lovely Miss Wisdom Speaks is in the house. Thank you for joining us today, ma'am. Great to have you here. Arctic Fox True Crime. Speaking of, welcome, brother. Good to have you here. Miss Kimberly KV, welcome back to you. Miss Kim Marin, always happy to see you, my dear. Mr. Brian Braga is in the house. Good to see you, sir. Tomboy Charm, welcome back to you. Good to have you here. Great to see you. Miss Dakota, thank you for joining us today. Great to have you here. Miss Helen is in the house. Oh, my Lord. I love it, love it, love it. Welcome, Miss Helen. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. Welcome back, Kimber. Great to see you today as well. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you so very much. Let me see. Miss Victoria, welcome back to you. Maria Gutierrez, thank you for joining us today. I do believe that would be Arctic's link, I think. Anyway, check it out, guys. Please, if you can. Let's see here. Who else do we got in this house right now? Kim Marin, Maria Gutierrez. Let's see. Live Locked No More. Welcome back. Great to see you. Great to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. Miss Kell, is always a pleasure. Great to see you. Nada Drama Nana. Thank you for being here today. Great to have you with us. Appreciate you very much. Moonlit Baby's in the house. Welcome back to you, Moonlit. Let me see. Moni's in the middle. Where's she at? She's in the middle. Welcome back, Moni. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. Come on in, everybody. DS, welcome back. Great to see you today. Thank you so much. Miss Salty's in the house. Always happy to see you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so very much. Miss Tina B, welcome back. Great to have you. Tracy again's in the house. Welcome back to you. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see here. Oh my goodness gracious, who do we have? Let's see. Come on, let me get to the top here. Good golly, Miss Golly, Miss Molly, good golly, whatever I'm saying. Miss Molly's in the house. Welcome back, Molly. Thank you for joining us. I have no idea what I just said. Don't ask me, guys. Miss Crazy Linda, hey, welcome back. Good to see you today. All right. My son. I forget that I do that now. Groot, welcome back. Good to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. It just keeps growing and growing. It's hard to catch up to it. Hold on. Don't go nowhere with that, you guys. Neil Homestead, my friend, #1 in the house today. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you very much. Great to see you, Neil. All right, let's see what we got at the bottom down here. Oh my goodness gracious. Great song by an amazing artist, Gold Dust Woman from Stevie Nicks. That's Miss Helen's song. Hell yes. I love that song. There's Arctic's link. Sorry about that. I think the link was bad. There we go. Check that link out, guys, if you will. Go over there. Subscribe to Arctic Fox True Crime if you can. And make sure you hit that bell so that you know every time he goes live, because every single time he's live, it's important, folks. Very much so. Very much so. And again, thank you, brother, for the tools you gave me today to get a hold of Miss Amy to get this working so that we can bring home Miss Katilyn. Period. Yes, I did see that. We're going to talk about that too. That's crazy, Salty, isn't it? Did you see that a local judge and friend of Tad Cullum, which is one of the suspects that was arrested for the unalivings of the 2 Oklahoma moms, was asked to resign after giving Brian Enton an interview? How about that? Wow. That's awesome. Too, Miss Brandy says that the TikTok for Sebastian has hit 2,700 views. Damn. You guys are a rock and roll. Thank you so very much for that. And please make sure you're hitting that like button on the way in the door. It only takes a second, folks. Just 1 second. Please do it if you will. That way we can get this up in the algorithm and these missing children can be seen by the whole world and be brought home. You like my new nose job? Yes, I got a nose job. What do you think? Wonder if that makes my mic sound any better by taking that off. It's a mic condom, what I call it. I don't know. Which way sounds better? This way or this way? Let me know, please, if you will. I think I got everybody. DS, great to see ya. Thank you for joining us. 18 months. Miss Kim's been here 18 months. I think this lady is one of the first and only first, besides, of course, Brandy and Sherry and Molly and Mama Bear, subscribers to this channel. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Kim. We appreciate you so very much for hanging around for 18 damn months. That's a long time. I did say hey to you, Brandy. I always say hey to you. You must not hear me or something. I said it. Brandy B never fails. I always say same thing to you. Hello, Brandy. I see ya. Oh, you see that, guys? I was Kim's first. I don't think I've been on that list in a long time. Whoa. Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. That's awesome, Kim. I appreciate you very, man. Thank you, Miss Helen, very much. I appreciate that more than you know. I'm a handsome man. I wish I was. I used to be 25 years ago. Things have changed, though. Uh-oh. Now they're fighting over me, guys. Miss Helen says no Dago I was her first. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. What's up, Steve? Is in the house, SWTC. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you very much, my friend. Great to have you here today, as always. Well, I ain't had that happen since I was way back in high school. That's awesome. You ladies are making me blush today. What's going on? Come on now. I go from no respect to too much. What are you going to do? With the foam cover, it sounds better? Thank you, D. All right. Yes, Brian, we all were when we were younger. Miss Teresa S is in the house. Welcome back, Teresa. Great to have you here. It does, Brian. It does. I would give everything I own to be 25 again. And before I hurt myself, oh my God, you guys, I was crazy. I was crazy. LA woman. Welcome back, LA. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I appreciate you joining us today. LOL. Brandy, if you can get together with LA, she wanted to jump into the Discord. She's been here long enough. So if we can work that out and get her worked into that, please do. I would appreciate that very, very much. Welcome back, Miss Kimber. Thank you for being here today again. Appreciate you very much. Well, I'll tell you what. I would want to be my body 25, but my mind right here where we are. I love where I'm at right now in my mind, but my body, I want my 25-year-old body back. That's all I'm saying. It would be wonderful. It would be so wonderful. I would just not do some of the things I was doing then. Michael 007, hello. Where have you been, my friend? It's wonderful to see you. I hope you're doing well. I love the new picture with the guitar. That's awesome. Very cool. Here, not you. I got mine right here. I was playing today a little bit. Well, I think I had a child on the way too at that age, but you know. No problem, Miss Helen. And please understand, Miss Helen, that I think every community out here that has heard you speak loves you. So don't ever think you're not welcome in any of these communities. Because I was over there and I saw you talking over there, and you're definitely welcome and loved over there, and as much as you are here as well. So thank you for joining us. And that's what I heard, Salty. I had it marked on my calendar. Wait. I thought that's what it was, but I don't see it. Sounds like a plan, Michael. I'm down for it. Brian said, shaken, not stirred. Hey, hey. Yeah, I think so. I do think so, Salty. I think that's what was supposed to happen. I have no idea if she did or if she didn't, though. I haven't gotten any documents yet. It'll probably drop tomorrow if there's a document for it. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Kim. That's amazing. Yes, Brian, it does. The back and the spine. Don't ever mess up your back or your spine, you guys, or your neck. I'm telling you, it's the worst thing you can do. That's why I'm sitting in this chair doing this right now and not on a fire truck doing what I should be doing. Take care of your backs, please, while you can. I thought today was that deadline. Yes. We'll see what happens. Little Bit's in the house. Welcome back, Little Bit. Good to see you today, dear. T2014, welcome back to you. Thank you for joining us today. Let me see here. Oh, hell yeah. I get it, bro. That's what I said. My mind is probably right around that 18 to 21 range. And my body, though, is like 68. I'll tell you right now. That's what I feel like. I'll be honest with you. We got 81 peeps in here with 60 likes. What is going on, guys? Come on now. Let's make it match. Please, please, please. So we can get out in that algorithm. Where is SRB at? Where's your mom at, Cassie? Is she in here? Because I don't think I saw her. Come on, mine. Don't fail me now. I didn't think I saw her. She's probably picking up Nicholas. Cassie, do you know if the storm hit her yet? Yeah, I didn't think there was going to be a hearing, but I thought that something would drop and let us know that that's what was going on. You know what I mean? If it happened or didn't happen. Holy heck and who and whatever's going on. A little bit just dropped 5 memberships. Make sure your guys is down at the very bottom. that little dollar sign. You go in there and click and open it up. Make sure you can receive gifts so you can receive a membership when it's dropped. Thank you so very much, a little bit. We do appreciate it. Looks like T2014 was gifted. Michael 007, Miss Polly Pepper, Pamela, Bessa Wagoner, Granny Grunt 64. Welcome back to the sauce, except for Granny Grunt. Welcome, and I appreciate that so very much. A little bit. We got our meatballs back in the sauce again so they can jump in and spill that sauce with us every day. Bombshell was gifted by Miss Kim Marin as well. That's so awesome. Thank you, Kim, so very much. That is so very much appreciated. And guys, if we can today, please, let's throw up just because. Let's throw in those green hearts and light up the chat. And after you do that, throw in some pink hearts. That way we can throw up some hearts in support of Katilyn as well, guys. Please, 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 if you can. Pink or red, whatever color you got. But let's light up the chat for Sebastian. And then Miss Katilyn, if we can, please. And thank you, Miss Sherry. Once again, guys, please hit that like button. Even if you're standing out there in the hall watching us from around the corner, you're not in the chat right now. It only takes a second. Please hit that like button so we can get this out into that algorithm and that YouTube can throw this all over the place. Please. Please, 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 please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else that's coming in now, please find yourself a seat, get comfy, hang out with us. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that very much. By the way, how are you feeling, Brian? Are you healing up okay? Getting around better? Spinal surgery is no joke. That's why I won't do it. They want me to do that and have back surgery, and I just won't do it. That's why I just sit here in pain all day. Good Lord, look at that chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much. Miss Noni McPoppins, welcome back. Great to see you today. Oh, green and pink hearts. Thank you so much. And there you go. T2014 says, thanks for the membership. Oh, Brian. Sorry to hear that. Michael, my mother's doing wonderful. She asked me how you're doing as well, not too long ago. She's doing wonderful. Thank you, sir. Her and my father just moved into a new condo. They finally got out of the place they were in and cut themselves down to smaller area. They didn't need all that because we're not at home any longer, and all that fun stuff. But they're all moved into their place and they're getting settled and getting comfortable. So but thank you for asking, Michael. I appreciate that so very much. Just save it all up, Brian. Who cares, right? All right. Yes. Congratulations to all the new members once again, and thank you, Lobet, for that. That is so very awesome. Yes, absolutely, Michael. Absolutely. Miss Vicky Harrison, welcome. Good to see you. I know we have them coming this direction too, because it's like 80 degrees and windy, and the storms are heading this way. So if I cut out just out of nowhere, guys, you'll know why. Yes, we need 100 likes, a little bit. 100 likes, please. We're at 63. Let's make that match, guys. We can do that. All right, all right, all right. Let me see. All right, y'all. Here we go. So, right here, this is Miss Katilyn Diana Benfield. She's age 14. She has sandy blonde hair. Her eyes are brown, 5'4". She weighs 134 pounds. She lives in, excuse me, Newton, North Carolina. Okay. The Newton Police Department is requesting the public's assistance in locating 14-year-old female Katilyn Diana Benfield, last seen in Newton, North Carolina on April 15th. Okay, so she's been gone for 2 whole days at this point. At approximately 12:45 a.m. Another one that went missing in the middle of the night. Katilyn also goes by the nicknames K1, Ava, and Cat. Katilyn has both ears pierced and the right side of her nose pierced. Katilyn has Lil G tattooed on her upper left arm and a scar in her hairline. Katilyn has mental health needs and takes daily prescription medication that she does not have with her. So that's 2 full days, 48 hours that she's been without her medication. That's not good. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Katilyn Diana Benfield, please contact the Newton Police Department. The number there is 828. I hope you guys can see this. Hold on a minute. Nope, it ain't going to work. Okay. 828-465-7430. Again, 828-465-7430. And that's Newton, North Carolina Police. Okay. This little girl is only 14 years old. She needs to be taking medication regularly, and she has not had it for 48 hours. We need to bring this child home. Whether she left by her own record or she didn't, it doesn't matter. She needs to be home with her mother. Tomorrow, guys, probably around sometime in the afternoon. It depends on what's going on tomorrow. I will be, Katilyn's mother, Amy, will be joining me. We'll be talking with her, getting a little bit more information. My understanding is that Newton Police Department is not being super cooperative with Amy. That's not how this works. Okay, runaway or not. And I'm sick of hearing this. You guys have heard me talk to the Cleveland police about this, and I kind of went off on them too because it's bull. Runaway or not, a runaway can turn into an abduction within a second, or a trafficking situation within a second. And I don't want that to happen to any other children, guys. We've lost too many to that, and enough is enough. This has to stop. The police need to reprioritize their protocol and make this shit happen. I'm sick of this. Okay? These are children, not adults. Even with adults, it shouldn't be that way, but these are children. This child's not even old enough to drive a car. They should have been on top of that right that moment. As soon as they filed this report and everything, they should have been on top of it right there. Tired of the whole 24-hour, we can't do anything for 24 hours or 48 hours. It's bullshit. Enough is enough. This is a child, not an adult. Literally, enough is enough. We have to stop it. Okay? They have to stop it. I'm so over this. So over this. I will be contacting Newton Police myself and speaking with them about how I feel about that as well. Whether or not it makes a difference, they're going to hear my voice. They're going to hear me calling them and complaining about it because it's bullcrap. We went through this with Brandy's niece when she went missing. It was the same scenario. This has to be a priority, folks. Period. I'm sorry that I'm slamming my hand. It irritates me so bad. Let's wait 24 hours so that we never see this person or this child again. That makes no sense to me. None. Welcome, Walt. Thank you for joining us. I don't even think there's an Amber Alert out. There isn't, is there, Arctic? No, because I think we would have that alert instead of this. Nope. See? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's not listed. They won't put an Amber Alert out because she didn't run away or because she ran away. I guarantee you that's what they're going to say because that's how it works. I don't know the laws in South Carolina, I'm sorry, North Carolina, but I know that's how it works here. I'm pretty much sure it's nationwide. That's exactly it right there. We've said that time and time and time again. The first 24 to 48 hours are the most important in a missing persons case. So let's wait that time and make sure that that person gets as far away as they can. Or that somebody can grab them and take them as far away as they want to. It absolutely does, Sherry. It absolutely does, guys. It needs to change. Protocol needs to change for all this stuff. It really does. I'm sorry, but it does. Please, guys, hit the like button so we can get this in the algorithm. I want her face to start being seen right now. Arctic put this out earlier. I'm putting it out now. We're going to put it out again tomorrow. I might come back in and put it out again tonight. I think I do, Miss Dakota. Welcome, Country Brat. Hold on a minute. Let me double check that. Dakota, what was it titled? Oh, you know what? My email got cleaned out. Can you send it to me again, Dakota? Because I'll throw it back up again. Word. This has to stop, Miss Vicky said. All right. Let me see something here. There it is, right there. Bingo. Thank you very much, Arctic. As a YouTube creator, this is started by Thomas McCauley, Arctic Fox. Okay. Sorry guys, hold on a minute. As a YouTube creator that covers the missing, it has become increasingly apparent that our Amber Alert system is broken. Facts. We know that Amber Alerts work because statistically speaking, when an alert is issued, the child is found in 24 to 48 hours. You hear that, guys? The issue at hand is the rules and regulations regarding which children get an alert and which do not qualify varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Also, too many children are left voiceless without any alert. What I am proposing is that anytime a child 18 or younger goes missing, an alert with the child's name, description, last known location, etc., goes out. This is for all missing children, including runaways, whose cases are far too often not taken seriously by law enforcement. Thank you. This would be a standard protocol across all cities in the 50 United States. It is time that all children get a voice. Amen, brother. Guys, you can hold on a minute. Let me see if I can blow this up just a little bit. If you can see that QR code, you can scan that with your phone right now. Okay. Or, hold on a minute. Yeah, go ahead. And if you want to scan that code, and I'm also going to drop a link in the chat for you guys to sign this petition, if you will, please. There it is. We need to get this stuff changed. Thank you so very much, Arctic. There is Arctic's link to his channel again, by the way. Right there. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Welcome, Miss Paula. Thank you for joining us today. There's his link right there, Michael. And come on, guys, please hit that thumbs up so we can get this in that algorithm. Katilyn space needs to be seen. Sebastian space needs to be seen. This petition needs to be signed. We need to get this out all over YouTube and all over the internet, folks. Again, there's the link for the petition. It's in the chat. Scroll on down. 100%, Kim. Our world is definitely broken. Again, thank you very much for that, Arctic. Also, guys, if you want to support and become a member, there's ways to do that as well. When you click on that link, it'll take you into all this stuff. There's so many reasons to sign this petition, but I can think of one most important, and it's just one word: children. End of story. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, SRB. There's SRB. Thank you for joining us today, dear. I appreciate you very much. Okay. It got me worked up. Cinderella. Welcome. Thank you I love that. Thank you for joining us. All right. Missing person, missing children. It's all so very important. It really is. Yes, thank you all very much for signing. Welcome, Paige. Thank you for joining us today. Another meatball in the sauce today with us. And again, mods, thank you for being here. As always, I would not, could not, and should not do this without you, as well as my producers. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you again for that, Dakota. I'll pull that one up here too. 1 second. Again, guys, take a look at this. Miss Katilyn Diana Benfield. Benfield, yes. I didn't want to say it wrong. I already spelled it wrong when I was talking to her mom. My autocorrect takes over everything I touch in my phone, and it screws everything up for me. So, again, there's that. As I'm looking for this email, take a good look, guys. If you're in this area in North Carolina, anywhere around North Carolina or surrounding areas, and you see anything, guys, anything, say something. It's time that we stop minding our business. There it is. Thank you so much again. All right, here we go. All right. Now, this is the other petition, folks. This is the Lily Alert for missing children. Why this petition matters. This was started by Miss Cindy Ripple. I'd like to start this petition to create a Lily Alert. A 10-year-old girl went missing on Sunday, April 24th of 2022 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Ileana Lily was on a bike ride returning home from her aunt's house. She was reported missing around 9 p.m. by her father. Her bike and body were found the next morning, Monday, April 25th of 2022. The police have determined it to be a homicide. An Amber Alert was never made due to the rules determining it. We need something more, and we must have and do something more. We need to be better, folks. We do need to be better. Certainly, any parent would agree that when a child is missing, even for a short while, they need and would welcome the help from others to find them and bring them home safely. No child, no parent, no family, no friend, no community should experience this loss or the feeling that they should have or could have been more help. While it might be overwhelming to any police department to field phone calls for every child who is late returning home, more can certainly be done to help in this situation. I'm suggesting that a cell phone alert system be created with a Lily Alert, whereby details of the missing child, be sent to alert individuals within a radius of the last known location of the child. Details such as a photo where he or she was last seen and what they were wearing. Ileana M. Peters, Lily is her name. She should still be here today waiting for the end of her 4th grade school year in the beginning of summer break. Again, there is the QR code, guys, if you want to sign that. Okay. And look at that beautiful little girl who never got to live her life. And if they could have gotten to her in the first 24 hours, 48 hours, first 2, 3 hours, this may not have happened, you guys. I'm so angry that these things happen every single day. And we're helpless against doing anything. This stuff makes me so damn mad. We can make a change, you guys. We really can make a change. Please understand that's a fact. All right, folks, here is the link for this one. This is for the Lilia Alert petition. It's in the chat now. Right there. Please sign this, guys. They got 6,654 out of 7,500 signatures. We can change that. I signed this a while ago. I think you did too, Arctic. You said something about this in a different live stream we were talking. I heard you talking about something else about this a while back. So I don't think they did, Steve. Welcome, Golf Inspector. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you very much. Mr. Philip Hughes is in the house. Welcome, sir. Hope you're doing wonderful today. Thank you so much, Miss Helen. We appreciate you so very much. And thank you to everyone that signed this. You guys are amazing. And shared it to Facebook. See? That is so very awesome. Look at that. Look at all these signatures. You're going to make a difference, folks. You're going to make a difference. Cindy Kerp is in the house with Big Ohio Owl, I'm guessing. If not, either way, welcome to you both. Much appreciated to have you here. We got 83 people in here, 85 people in here, guys. Let's make those a likes match until we can get this to 100 somehow. We can do it. Thank you, Paige, for that. Paige says, Dago, I'm only 40 minutes from Wendell, and I haven't heard a word about this. Man, are you serious? See, that's what I'm talking about, you guys. And the news has not put it out. Nobody has put it out. We are the only ones that are doing this. Arctic Fox he did it on his show today. I'm doing it on mine, and I'll be doing it again tomorrow. I'll be talking to. Let me pull this down so you guys can see. I will be talking to. Where did it go? Good Lord, I just lost my train of thought. Welcome, Karen Klein. Thank you for joining us. I'll be talking to Amy, Katilyn's mother, tomorrow here while we're live, and getting more of the story out and learning more about Katie and little things to look for and stuff like that. So, absolutely, Paige. I believe you do. Absolutely. I appreciate it too, very much. And I appreciate you supporting it in this channel as well, and any other channels you supported it in, Paige. So thank you so much for joining us. Brian said he never heard either. And I don't think Miss Sherry heard about it either. She lives in that Carolina area too. Also, again, Miss Sherry said she'd like to add one too. Ganning, I would like to add one on Gannon's. There's a link there for that, guys. If you want to check that out, please do. I can't click on it. Show you what it is. Yes, to ensure children under a certain age are classified as missing and endangered. Great. Check them out, folks. These are very important things. That's 100% true. Thank you so much for that comment, Karen. If we can put ads on a gas pump, we can just as easily put an Amber Alert on them too. There's no problem with that. 100%. Great point, Miss Karen. I've literally been told that by a Cleveland police officer, a lead Cleveland police officer. Don't waste, the exact words were, and I did it live. The exact words were, don't waste too much of your time because a lot of these kids are runaways. What? That's exactly what I said to him. I said, what did you just say? Don't waste too much of my time because a lot of these kids are runaways. I said, you're a law enforcement official, right? Yes, sir. And so then you would understand as a law enforcement official that a runaway can turn into an abduction or a trafficking scenario within seconds, right? Well, well, okay. Yeah, have a nice day, sir. Goodbye. I was so pissed off. You have no idea. I'm so tired of this not being a priority, you guys. It just doesn't make any sense to me. None. These are our children, our future. Well, we'll get to it when we can. Give her a couple of days and see if she comes back. No. That's bullshit. No. I'm sick of hearing that. The mentality shouldn't even exist, Kim. That's the problem. What if it was your daughter? What if it was your daughter that was out there? Would you want them to start looking now or a couple days from now? Miss me with that bullshit. I'm sorry. I never received an Amber Alert. Every time I get an Amber Alert, I go straight to say, yeah, 100%, Paige. That's what we all do. I'm signed into this. I was at some point to receive national Amber Alerts to go out across the United States. And I haven't gotten one in I don't know how long. I got a couple of them when I first signed up for it. I don't know what it actually was. I can't explain to you how it was explained to me when they called me, but because of what I did, this was a long while back. And I was working in the fire service, and it was a whole little program I was enrolled in. I think I received 2 or 3 of them max. After that, nothing else. I don't get it. And that's my point, Michael. That makes no sense. So they think runaways are safe. How do you know that? How does anybody know that? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. 100%. Arctic says that statistically speaking, runaways are at a higher risk of being trafficked or resorting to prostitution than victims of abduction. That's fact. Because runaways are typically on their own completely. They have nothing, no resources, and they're looking for any way to survive. That's how it works, folks. Welcome, Julie Dunn. And you know what, Julie? I understand they don't have the funds, the manpower to search for every missing possible runaway. I get that, okay? But when they're a certain age, I think there should be a criteria. Period. If you got a 17-year-old that ran away, okay, look into it, do something, okay? But when you got, I think any child under the age of 17, 16 needs to be a priority because that's still a child. And they still have a very childish mentality at that age, in my opinion. So it all comes back to money every time. But I understand. I do understand in some senses. You could just put up a bolo or something, okay? Let everybody know that's in the vehicle that are patrolling the streets, is what I'm saying. That's all you got to do. Take a look for this child while you're out patrolling. Is it hard? And if don't take them off of the streets, don't take them, off of their cases. But as they're out patrolling, doing their regular patrol, put a picture in their computer or give them a picture to post in their cruiser. That's not hard. That doesn't cost any extra money. It's what I don't understand. They don't even do that. And in some cases, that's true a little bit. That can be dealt with as well. That child speaks up and says, hey, this is what's going on at home. I ran away because of this, so on and so forth. Then that can be dealt with that way. But just don't let that child run to where they can possibly be picked up, abducted, hurt, or worse. You know what I'm saying? That's what doesn't make sense to me. That's absolutely right. It should be determined later, 100%. Once we get that child somewhere safe, whether it's home or not, at least get him off the street, okay? That's true too. That is so very true. We have better and more resources for missing animals than we do for missing children. No hate to our fur babies, but it's the truth. I see more shares on social media for missing and lost pets than kids. That is a fact, Paige. That has driven me nuts for ages. 100%. I'd rather my phone goes off 20 times a day with an alert versus nothing. Amen to that one. Thank you, SRB. Runaways can also be in danger. Some causes look like a runaway and being there severe. Absolutely, Maria. Thank you. You know what else? YouTube needs to broadcast, Amber. I swear to God, I said that like 6 months ago. I wish we could do that. I literally wish we could do that somehow. They would give us a link to click on when it happens and we could just put it out, period. That's truth. Nobody watches the news anymore. Put it in here and let YouTube send it out. Period. This is where everybody's at anyway. That's insane. That's crazy, Julie. Welcome, Chemistry Queen. Thank you for joining us. Please, everybody, hit the like button on your way through the door. We have to get this in the algorithm. And 1 second here. Where did it go? Thank you, Brian. Yeah, they stopped doing that too because it was costing too much money, which I think is ridiculous. And they don't use the cardboard cartons too often anymore. Put it on the back of cereal boxes then. Oh, I know that, Victoria. I know we do here in my area. And like I said, it doesn't cost any money extra when you do change a shift in the local police departments all over the United States. All they need to do is send this same picture to the computer that is in each and every cruiser, because they all have one. Okay, and have them put out a bolo while they're out patrolling. They can look at this picture and look at every child they see on the roads. That's all it takes. That is all it takes. And that needs to be done as soon as this picture is created. I don't care. There's no reason. These officers will patrol and they do nothing sometimes until something happens. What's the big deal? You're riding around anyway. You can't look for somebody while you're riding around. It's not hard. I'm telling you, folks. The excuses that they give are just bullshit to me. I'm tired of hearing them. Unbelievable. Awesome, Victoria. Agreed, Arctic. They could put it on store receipts. They could put it on the back of cereal boxes. They could put it on the back of rice boxes. They could put it on any packaging they want to. Grocery bags, brown paper bags. There could be flyers automatically sent out when a what the hell is it called? When an Amber Alert goes out, or a missing persons or a missing child goes out, it could automatically be sent to every department store in that area. Every local business can be sent something, period, and it can be posted. There is no excuse for anything. None. And the sad part is these excuses are all absolutely ridiculous, too. Yeah, that's a good point, too, Paige. I like that idea. Hotels should get them because right. Yeah, I think that's another big one, too, Paige. The gas station around here, our gas pumps have those little TVs on them now. Why can't you post something across that? Somebody's standing there pumping gas. What if somebody's standing at a gas station on the other side of a pump and they look over and they see this child sitting in the back of this car? You see what I'm saying? Period. It's amazing ideas. All of these things should be done, could be done, really need to be done. I do too. I don't know why, but I do. Welcome, Great Pearl. Golf inspector is in here somewhere. Right, Brian. They're running stuff on those TVs at the gas stations about nothing. They could be doing something good out of it. You know what I mean? I agree a little bit. I got some negative, Nancy. And don't the owners of those pumps get paid for those ads? If posting is going to cost some money, then let them, I'm sure the government could put out something for that. Is what I'm saying. If it costs something. Yeah, absolutely. Arctic, 1 second. In the chat, bro. Yeah. Broke is right, Brian. Hey, hey, hey. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I have some fantastic news.
Okay.
I just got off the phone with Kate.
Oh, you cut out. What happened?
I just got off the phone with Caitlin's mom. She has been located at the address that she had told the officers about earlier today. It was the person that she thought had Caitlin, and it took her going to the sheriff's office before they would even go over there and look for her. The 17-year-old that she was with is also listed as a missing person. But yeah, Caitlin has been found. She's going to, after she gets finished with her probation officer, she's going into a mental health facility. She's being Baker acted so she can get the mental health help that she needs.
That is amazing. That is wonderful to hear. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And again, very sadly, like I said, the local police department would not do that. She asked them to go to this address. She knew that her child was there. She had a very strong feeling. She had to go to the county. They went, and here we are. Which that's what matters. You know, I'm not going to get into semantics right now, but that's what matters. That she's safe. That's wonderful. Wow, that is so good to hear.
Yep.
Well, like I said, guys, we're gonna keep pushing for this. We're gonna keep pushing these things like this every time it happens. So that's good. One down and millions to go.
Exactly. The
Awesome.
statistic is a child goes missing every 40 seconds in this country. So,
It is absolutely horrific how many. Like I said, I just can't get over it. And like I said, this is our future, you guys. Our children are our future. Without our children, we have no future. Okay? We need to protect them at every cost, every aspect that we can. So that's wonderful news, Arctic. I appreciate you jumping up here and telling us that.
no
Uh,
problem. I'm going to hop down. I just wanted to let you know the good news and everything.
absolutely. Thank you so very much. And I will make sure I send a message to mom to let her know. Thank you so very much. Absolutely. That's so awesome. Well, there we go. Well, I sat up here and screamed and yelled, and she's already safe, and that's great. But I'm not lying, guys. These things still all need to be done. Okay. We still need to make these changes. We still need to push these petitions, and we still have so many other children. Every 40 seconds, a child goes missing. Do you realize that? I don't know if you guys heard him say that. It's fact, folks. It is fact. Every 40 seconds. So, in the period that I've been sitting here talking, how many kids have gone missing? You know what I mean? It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Wow. Wow, that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Um, give me 1 second. One moment, folks. All right, all right, all right, all right. Here we go. Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, there's so many more that we can yell about. So many POC, Native Americans, Hispanics, Asians who never get their story heard. You have to be of a specific race class to make the news. That is 1,000,001% correct, Paige. Thank you. All right. Well, at least we got a little bit of good news today. That's what makes this worth it, guys. And I promise you, I will not stop making noise. Period. Um, I'm sure that you guys have all heard this thing. I'll give you guys a little update on some stuff since that was covered. Let me see here. There was a message that I saw that was passed through from that Riley Strain's mother received. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's pretty wild. Um, that he had gotten a message. She had gotten a message from him that the drink he was drinking that night had a weird taste to it, and it tasted like barbecue. And the conversation, I had the text message, and the conversation was between him and his mom, and she said, "Well, that's not good. Don't drink it." Well, he must have. And that one makes me wonder: was there something in that drink? Do you know what I mean? Just saying. The thing is when I want to see the toxicology report, not the preliminary, the entire toxicology report, to see what comes back on that, because I still don't believe that's how that happened. I don't believe that his pants and his boots came off in the river, because that just doesn't happen, you guys. Every time I've ever done a recovery in water, whatever clothes those people were wearing were on their body. Every time. I'm just saying. That's all I can tell you guys. It's facts. That didn't make any sense to me at all. I'm going to give you guys, speaking of which, an interview real quick from Riley's family. Then we're going to get into what we're doing and just talk about it all.
Interview with Riley Strain's entire family, his parents and his step parents, and they've revealed to you all sorts of information about the disappearance and death of Riley that we never knew before, including, and this was something that was so distressing to me, the 911 call suggesting that the operator said, "Don't worry about it. He's probably just off with some bridesmaids somewhere, and he'll turn up." I'm paraphrasing, but it was uncomfortable to hear a cavalier attitude to someone calling for help.
There it is, right there. Don't worry about it. He'll show up. It's no big deal. That's the mentality that these people have about this all the time. Whether it's a 20-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, don't worry about it. He'll show up. That has to stop, you guys. It has to stop. We have lost so many people that it could have been prevented in so many different ways. There was no reason for any of these things to happen. There really isn't. Welcome, Zelda. Thank you for joining us tonight, hon. Jesus. Okay, here we go.
From the authorities. Tell me a little bit more about what you've been learning about the route that Riley took that night before he ended up on the riverbank.
Yeah, and the rain has stopped, actually. Again, the weather has just been crazy in this part of the country. But yeah, Riley Strain, of course, the young college student who went missing in Nashville, was there partying with his frat brothers beginning of March. Tragic story. Before I came here to Kansas and Oklahoma, I was in Missouri meeting with his parents, and they revealed all sorts of new information that we had never heard before. They had been focused on grieving, and before that, finding Riley, and now they're opening up about all of these other details about what they've learned happened that night. They were able to get Riley's bank records now, and we now have a look and we have a map at exactly which bars he went to. We knew Luke Bryan's bar, but we now know all the bars, and we know the order that he attended those bars. It was Miranda Lambert's bar first, Garth Brooks' bar second, Kid Rock's bar third, and then he ended up at Luke Bryan's bar fourth. And again, they've figured this out by looking at.
Okay, I'm not being funny here, but Is every bar in Tennessee owned by some famous person? Jesus. Miranda Lambert's bar, Kid Rock's bar, Luke Bryan's bar, Garth Brooks' bar. What? Good Lord.
At his bank records, and they've revealed something else that they've never talked about before, Ashley. It's shocking. It is a conversation, a text message conversation that Riley had with his mother at one of those bars. They're not sure which one he was at, not Luke Bryan's bar, but one of the ones before. I want you to listen to what they said.
He had sent me a text and said that he had ordered he was drinking a rum and coke and it didn't taste good. And I said, well, you probably shouldn't drink it then. He goes, well, it tastes like barbecue. And I go, well, that sounds awful. And he said, well, it sounds good, but it's not.
When a rum and coke normally tastes the same, I mean, that's not something that you really.
So I would beg to wonder if that maybe it had like a vinegary taste to it. Barbecue sauce is based on vinegar, and maybe there was a vinegar taste to it, which could incite some form of a chemical. Okay, just saying.
Normally tastes any different.
Right.
It has a very consistent taste.
Yes. And that's why I'm like, you probably shouldn't drink that then.
Do you think that could have something to do with what happened?
Yeah, maybe there was something in it that shouldn't have been.
I mean, even if there wasn't foul play at the river, but if something happened in the bar, that's the kind of thing that could hurt someone else.
Exactly.
And you hear about that happening to women, but it likely happens to men too, I'm sure.
From the stories that we've been told from Uber drivers and just different individuals that reached out to us that either happened to a family member or happened to them in Nashville, there's something there.
There's something going on in that town.
It just feels like it just feels like you come up to a stopping point. Every time we get somewhere, it just feels like there's something holding everybody back from fully giving us what we need. And there's just something there.
That's interesting to me, you guys. They've talked to multiple, welcome MIA, they talked to multiple people that this happens in. Cletus from Illuminati told me the same thing, the same exact thing, that there's something that goes on in Nashville that people just don't get. You don't walk around at night by yourself, male or female, in Nashville, guys, period, at all.
There is something there. It's just,
be it money or bad publicity.
Right. We don't know, but we truly want to try to help, this situation and help others.
Nobody needs to go through what we've had to go through, the way that we've had to go through it. I mean, they're still telling us it's an accident. Fine. Show me the proof that you have that it's an accident. I'll accept it.
So now, Ashley, questions of whether Riley was roofied based on that conversation that he had with his mom, and obviously the way that he was acting in some of the surveillance video that didn't make sense. We've learned there's a state investigation now on top of the local investigation, which apparently has ended and isn't continuing. The state now looking at cameras from the bars, according to the family, trying to figure out, what he drank. Did someone slip something in his drinks? All of that now being looked at, Ashley.
Well, I sure hope that the state investigators, if they find that someone slipped something into his drink and he died as a result of it, I hope they charge that person with felony murder, because drugging someone is a felony. And when someone dies as the result of your felony, you get charged with resulting murder. That is so distressing to hear that. Brian, excellent digging. And I know that there's a lot more. By the way, please go get shelter. Thank you for, doing this in such bad weather down there, and all the digging and all the double duty today, Brian. Thank you so much. Excellent job.
Thanks, Ash.
And I've got a whole lot more of Brian's exclusive interview with Riley Strain's parents coming up after the break, because while they were on the ground in Nashville and they were personally searching everywhere they could, what were Riley's frat brothers doing? Riley's mom and dad said they could not believe how these young men behaved, and you may not believe it either. Hear it all next. Riley Strain's mother says there is a hole in her heart, and it is not just the loss of her son. It is the lack of answers from people who should know by now. How Riley went from alive and texting outside a Nashville bar to dead in the Cumberland River. Nashville police are still insisting it was a tragic accident and nothing more. But the family is not buying that. As for Riley's brothers at his fraternity at the University of Missouri, you may be shocked when you hear how they reacted to Riley's real family when that family needed support the most. Not only that, we got more now of an interview you'll see now only on News Nation about that drink, about the disappearance, and about what happened afterwards. Here's Riley Strain's mom and dad and step-parents with our Brian Enton.
They've got a mountain of evidence that they're working on filtering through, and he has been in contact several times throughout this whole investigation.
Do you think that could lead to some answers in terms of maybe if there was something in the drink?
Thank you, Zelda.
I think there's got to be all sorts of cameras.
So. We heard there was 150 cameras in Luke Bryan's bar, I believe it was. We hope that'll lead to something.
So, it's interesting because he wasn't in Luke Bryant's as long as we thought. According to what the detectives told us timeline this week, he'd left Garce and went to Kid Rock's and then spent an hour in Kid Rock's, then showed up at Luke Bryant's at 9:15, I believe is what the detective told us. He was in Luke Bryant's from 9:15 to 9:36, 21 minutes. He had one beer, 2 waters. Last time I checked, every time you go into these bars, you have to show ID, probably have to pay a cover. And so if he didn't meet the protocol to be in there after being in there 21 minutes, I can't imagine a lot changed in that 21 minutes from when he was paying to get in.
Well, I'm just thinking about, you've got celebrity bars involved. You've got Nashville, which is a huge tourist destination. You've got a big fraternity with chapters all over the country. A lot of people who probably just would prefer that you guys stop doing these interviews.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to stop until we get satisfied with some sort of answer somewhere. Because where we're at right now still doesn't make sense.
It's still a mission. The objective is still the same, to find out what really happened, because everything we're seeing, it doesn't add up. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. If it was, we wouldn't be sitting here.
The fraternity brothers had not gone to the police when they called you?
Not that I am aware of.
Were you surprised?
Yes. Because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they have called the police when they got back at 3:15 in the morning and didn't see him then? Why wouldn't they have called the police? I don't know.
So 7 or 8 hours had gone by from the time they got back to the hotel to when they called you.
Lord, that seems to be the thing to do. Let's wait 8 hours and then we'll call the police. That I've always questioned that in this as well. Like why they waited until, unless they were just too drunk to do it. Okay. But still, that they should have called when they never saw him that night, period. We saw him all night long walking all down through there. And you know what I mean? It's just sad. This is sad. Oh my God.
Do you have any idea why they didn't call the police until then?
I don't know.
We called them on the way down, and it was probably close to 12 o'clock, and they were just going to the sheriff's detention center, to the sheriff's office to report him missing. That was probably 12:30, somewhere in there.
So 2 more hours had gone by from the initial call.
Yeah.
They still hadn't gone
Yeah.
to the police.
Yeah. 14 hours after his last ping over his phone was.
Do you think they were just scared, or do you have any idea why?
It's $1 million question.
So what happened when you got to Nashville?
So when we got there, all the boys were out. Well, not all the boys, but several of the boys were out front with a police officer. And we had to finish filling out the report. So we completed that, and the boys stayed out for a while. And then they all of a sudden disappeared, all of the boys. And they ended up back out a little while later in their dress clothes to go out to their formal that night.
They went to the formal?
Yeah.
I mean, these are his fraternity brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Fraternity brothers, roommates, friends from high school.
We spent the next 4.5 hours searching every emergency room to see if he was in the hospital. We come back and they're coming back, some of them from the party, and they're waving at us as we're sitting in the truck. How's that make you feel?
I would have thought they would have all banded together like a search group that night.
Yeah, 150, 160 of them on the ground, there from all different chapters. And, they told us that they were there. All of them were there if we needed them. We didn't know what we needed at that point in time, but you would have thought that, they would have at least been out searching, trying to do something. It wasn't.
Or something.
So the night after he went missing, you were out searching,
Mm-hmm.
and the fraternity brothers were partying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking?
We weren't very happy with them, to say the least. It's appalling.
You all received a letter from someone else who was staying at the same hotel who described a little bit of what they heard that night that Riley went missing. I just want to read part of it. At first, I thought it was a bunch of drunk college kids being jealous of girlfriend-boyfriend stuff, but it was too loud and went on too long. They were in halls. I could hear them between the walls. The doors for the hotel rooms are very heavy, so they slam when you let them shut. I woke up at 3:15 a.m. to numerous doors slamming, kids in the hall, both boys and girls, having very loud discussions, going back and forth from rooms multiple times. It was like new kids kept showing up on the floor during the entire period. These kids were freaking out about something. Were you ever able to find out what was going on in the hotel that night?
From one of the friends that I talked to this week, apparently he had hurt his hand that night. Didn't really specify what he had done, but apparently it had to do with a hurt hand that night and people being emotional about it. Apparently it didn't have anything to do with Riley.
Do you think there's information that his frat brothers have that they're not sure?
But apparently it had to do with
Times. It was like new kids kept showing up on the floor during the entire period. These kids were freaking out about something. Were you ever able to find out what was going on in the hotel that night?
From one of the friends that I talked to this week, apparently he had hurt his hand that night. Didn't really specify what he had done, but apparently it had to do with a hurt hand that night and people being emotional about it. Apparently it didn't have anything to do with Riley.
Do you think there's information that his frat brothers have that they're not sharing?
I feel like yes, maybe. I mean, I haven't sat down and talked to any of them to say, tell me your whole entire story. Would I like that? Yeah, yes. It would be nice.
Now that you've found Riley, do you feel like you have a different purpose in terms? I mean, do you want to know everything that happened? Is there like a hole? How would you describe it?
Of course, there's a hole in my heart. There always will be. And we may never know what happened that night, and that makes it even worse for me. But yeah, I would like to know everything that happened that day.
I don't understand why they haven't reached out to us wanting to provide information of that night. You know, maybe I'm crazy, but why should we have to reach out to them and beg them for information on a missing brother?
Did his brothers come to the funeral?
Mm-hmm.
They did. They were shuttled down on a bus, basically chaperoned through. They were loaded back up on a bus and back to school they went again.
Do you think the fraternity is trying to protect the fraternity? I mean, in terms of like a lawsuit or reputation, or I mean, what do you think is happening behind the scenes?
I think it's a reputation blow.
I do. Yeah. There were a couple of things that happened over this last week. They had a memorial service for him in Columbia, and we were notified 3 hours before. Well, we know it takes 3 hours to get to Columbia. I mean, I thought this was a brotherhood, you know.
Riley Strain's parents with our own Brian Enton. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
Well, that's relatively suspicious, in my opinion. So, I really do want to see the full talk screen on this. I mean, listen, Brian Enton knows all about fraternities, and I can go right along with the fact that they probably know a little something more. They probably do, okay? And they're protecting the fraternity because that's what they're trained to do when they become part of the fraternity, folks. It's just fact. And that bothers me a lot right there. I didn't know that. So that same night they got dressed in their dress clothes and they went to a formal instead of helping to search for Riley. Something's off with that. I'm sorry. Any more, Thomas? I agree with you. It's become too much of a danger and too much of a hazard, and too many things come out of it that aren't good. Thank you, Cassie, very much. It depends on what they are, though, Victoria. You're right, though. They don't. There still could be traces of that drug, and if it's not something that's something that's normally taken into a body, then if there's any traces of it in the bloodstream whatsoever, they'll find it. The lady that talked, and the two on the right end are his parents, I believe. Again, thank you, Zelda. Yeah, I've always thought there was something funky going on with that case. Completely. Yeah, we went over the Caleb Harris thing a few days back, and we really covered it pretty thoroughly, and still don't really have any good ideas, sadly. But guys, give me one moment here, and then we're gonna get in. I'm gonna open up the phone lines, and we're gonna talk about some stuff for sure. All right, all right, all right. In regards to Caleb, the roommates have been exhaustively interviewed by Ellie and pretty much cleared. So has the Uber Eats driver, but the cameras and gates at Caleb's complex were not working at the time. Right. That's definitely, even if they don't shut down the fraternity, something needs to be changed. Period. Things have changed a lot, Terry. They really have. They really have. We were talking about that too, Paige. That the picture that was sent from the bridge that was maybe meant to be sent to the person he was meeting by accidentally went to a roommate, right? I don't know how true that is either. Guys, if you're popping in now, please hit that like button on the way through the door. In my opinion, hola to you. Welcome. All right, all right. Let's get something moving here. Give me a second. Oh yeah, that was something else I wanted to show you guys. Now you guys know we were covering the Oklahoma two mothers that were missing. Check. Listen to this story real quick, guys. Now I watched this morning. I watched them being brought in for arraignment. Right. Listen to this. It's kind of crazy to me.
Nation national correspondent Brian Enton drove out there today, did a lot of looking about and asking questions, and he's live with me now. So, Brian, take me to that property. Tell me everything you know about the land, the landowner, and what you were able to see.
Yeah, first of all, actually, bear with me with the weather because it's been crazy here on the Oklahoma-Kansas line. We had a wind advisory today. There was a tornado last night, and now there's another big storm moving in. So it's going to get a little wet, but I want to get to all of our points. Yes, I went to the house and the area where the bodies were discovered. It's about 8.5 miles or so from where the mom's car was left in a very rural area. It is a piece of land that Tad was renting, was leasing out from an owner there. And there was a barn there. The bodies were discovered near a dam. There was some digging, and that's when they found them. The owner I met with, he was crying when he was telling me the story. Totally shocked by all of this. Can't believe it. Can't believe this happened on his land. Was shocked when the police showed up and started digging. But that is where those women were found, Ashley.
Okay, so now tell me, there's so much I want you to unload here, but you also got an interview today with Tad Cullum's business partner, who happens to be a municipal judge, who was coincidentally there at Tad's house while Tad's house was being raided. And then there's been a big twist tonight. Tell me everything that's happened.
There is, and I'm going to get to the twist in a second because this is really crazy and goes back to the point that people here are very scared to talk. But yes, we talked to the municipal judge here, happened to be walking by, got in the car with me and chatted. He is a good friend of Tad. He is a business associate. They were working together. He was at Tad's house when the SWAT team showed up. You remember Nancy Lou had that crazy video. The SWAT team showed up and he was there. He had a gun pointed at his face, he says. And he also knows a little bit about this group, the God's Misfits, the religious cult group. I asked the judge about it. Listen to what he told me, Ashley.
When's the last time you saw Tad?
I was there when they raided it.
You were there.
Tad and I have been working together the last month in a business, and I was down there when it was raided.
What was that like?
Being with a military past in Vietnam, it brought back some really bad memories. Looking down the barrel of those rifles, it was very hard for me. It brought back a lot of memories, a lot of bad things.
Did you ever get a bad vibe from Tad?
No. Tad was one of the nicest, funniest. I seen him almost on a daily basis this last month. We were working together. I couldn't even believe he was involved in it.
What about Tiffany?
I didn't see her a lot. I've known her for years. Always thought she was just a little bit out in left field. But again, just never believed that they would do this kind of thing.
According to the affidavit, they were involved in this group, God's Misfits.
Yes.
What do you know about that?
Never even heard of it until this come up. Knew zero, nothing about it.
And what have you learned?
To me, and what I've heard, and I can't say this for fact, what I've heard, it's kind of like a cult. A lot of cults use God as their background to justify what they're doing. To me, that's what it sounds like.
Are they anti-government?
Very.
I agree.
Very anti-government.
Okay, so in a very strange twist, Ashley, I just was notified that judge was forced to resign after doing that interview with me this afternoon. The mayor, he was appointed by the mayor, and the mayor basically said, "I'm not happy you did the interview and talked about any of this," and said, you know, we want your resignation. And he had to submit a letter of resignation. Keep in mind, he didn't talk at all about, you know, anything in a professional sense. He's just a municipal judge. He has nothing to do with the case at all. Just goes back to like why people are not wanting to talk around here, how powerful these suspects are. And now this judge is out of a job just for telling us that story this afternoon.
And again, that story has absolutely nothing to do with the murder or the evidence or anything, just the experience of what the arrest was. It's astounding. And I'm sorry, Brian, you're getting pelted with rain. I can't let you go, though. Did this judge know anything about Paul Grice, that fifth man that we are mystified about? Does he know him? Does he know why he wasn't arrested? Any info?
No, he knew absolutely nothing about him, which is interesting because he knows pretty much everybody in town. Everybody we've asked for the most part doesn't know much about him. I mean, you touched on it earlier, though. He was also, according to authorities, part of God's Misfits, the group. He was apparently involved in this plot to kill Veronica back earlier this year. So we know that from the affidavit, but we're not really having an easy time getting other information on him and why he wasn't arrested. You know, is he perhaps now cooperating with the investigation? We haven't been able to nail that down at this point.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
So, did you guys catch that? That the judge that is overseeing this or one of the judges in the municipal judge in the county there gave an interview to Brian Enton. Right after that, the mayor went to that judge and asked for his resignation. They fired him. Basically forced him to quit. What is going on in that area? They didn't want the judge to talk about any of this. They don't want anybody talking. Brian Enton, he just said that nobody's talking. Nobody will talk to them. Out of fear? What's going on? This is crazy, folks. I told you guys this was deep. Listen, when I was reading the affidavit to you guys the other day, this was a wholeheartedly premeditated. They were in February to try to handle this. They even made a statement that they wouldn't have to worry about the judge anymore because they know the path that he walks to work. They were going to take out the judge, you guys. What is going on? This is crazy. Yeah, the Department of Justice needs to take a look at this shit. They need to come in right now. The federal government needs to be involved in this. And these local municipalities need to be locked down. This is insane. Wow. Kinda, Michael. Yeah, kinda. Just saying, folks. There's some crazy stuff going on around here nowadays. So those are two new things. Also, come to find out not too long ago that I don't know how many of you guys followed the Quentin Simon case. Yeah, I was pretty deep into that one when it went down, right? Leilani Simon is the mother to the child that was unalived. Do you know now that at first she tried to get out of jail, okay? And she killed her child, period. then she just recently went in and she went to her attorney and said that she wants the 911 calls and the interviews that were done suppressed in the court hearing. What? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. What is wrong with these people? They think they can get away with murder and then, you know, ask for whatever they want. This is just nuts. It is absolutely nuts. Hold on a minute here. Let me see here. I was going to show you something else too. Okay. All right, guys. 1 second. I'm loading something in here. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines now. And the panel for anybody that wants to join me, of course. We're going to get to talking. That's what we do best, folks, is we talk. We work things out. All right. Right on. Oh, wait a minute. One second. Come on now, work with me. All right. Where did it go? There it is. Where did it go again? Damn it, stop doing that. Okay. Okay. Again, our number here is 203-407. I'm sorry, it's 234-703-4047. What did I just do? Sorry about that. 234-703-4047. My apologies. All right. Let's do this, guys. Anybody wants to jump up here with me? You're welcome. Welcome, Janet Riff. Anybody wants to call in? Let's hear it. Let's talk about it. And it doesn't have to just be Sebastian, but that's kind of where we're still trying to work it out, guys. And we're still trying to keep Sebastian's voice that he doesn't have out there, keep his space out there, his story going. And just to give you guys a heads up, we're going to be doing a refresh on these, I guess I call it refresher on the Summer Wells case, guys. We're going to come out and just kind of do a quick over, bring it all back out to you guys and look at it, talk about it, and remind everybody that may have thought or maybe possibly forgotten. It's gone cold, nobody's fault, you know, so we need to open it up and talk about it a little bit and warm it back up, guys. And amongst other missing persons cases we'll be looking at. So, oh, 1 second. Can you hear me, Miss Kimber? Hold on a minute. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Are you there? I don't hear ya. Let me see something here. Yeah, your mic should be okay. Terry, your stuff isn't connected, hon. You got to reconnect it.
Am I there now?
Yes, there you are. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Welcome.
Yeah. Y'all get this picture tonight. It was the one that was on there because I was a cat one year at Halloween. How about that?
It works for me. That's all that matters.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
this is open, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So let me say this. I think, how do I get back to, oh, wait, there I am. How do I get back to chat?
You can't while you're in here.
Oh, okay, whatever. That's cool. But anyway, I was going to say this. I think that I wonder, how long had Riley been in school? In college?
He was a senior. He was
Yeah, I
21.
thought. Yep. I think it was his 4th year in. Absolutely.
Yep.
You think he was his 4th year?
Yeah, he already had a job lined up in finance.
Yep.
Okay. But I wonder, you know how, and I know fraternities, they're crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, I can't believe, well, I can because I've seen it. I've watched a lot. But you do not. Okay, first of all, I live 30 minutes from downtown Nashville.
Gotcha.
I seldom go there. My son, when he goes there, I'm like, he's 32, and I'm like, you're never going to downtown Nashville again.
Right.
After Riley Strain, and after they pulled 2 people out while they were looking for Riley Strain.
Exactly.
But my son has great friends. They're not frat friends. They're real friends. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing is any normal friend, and I was really appalled. Even just typical friends would have been more involved, but you would imagine a fraternity would really be involved, and they completely blew my mind with that. So yeah,
it blew my mind too. And I will say this because I know my son, he seldom drinks, but he's gone down there like a couple of times and he's gotten drunk. And his friends, they'll call me and go, hey, Mom, we're bringing Derek home. I'm like, okay, you know.
Right.
bring him on home. But he still lives at home. I don't care. He's 32. He works, pays his way. He can live there as long as he wants. He's the only one. He's the only one I have. So I'm very. I know where he is. He's 32, and it has nothing to do with being a controlling mother. I just know where my son is. I told him, if you're not coming home, all you have to do, you text me and tell me you're not coming home. If I get that text the next morning, that's fine when I wake up, because I don't wait up for him because he is 32.
Right.
But if I see that text the next morning and I don't see his car in the drive, or if I don't see his car in the drive, I'll check my text so I know. But I told him, I said, that's one courtesy that I ask you. But I cannot believe that they did not leave that bar with him, because I'm going to tell you, and especially in a strange town, because me and my best friend from high school, we're still best friends. We were talking about it, and she said, do you think I would have let you walk out of a bar in downtown Nashville without going with you? Even,
Nope.
If we were all together, there is no way that any of us would have left any of. And it's downtown Nashville has changed so much. But the thing about that river is there are so many, and it really hit in 2020. There are so many homeless people along that riverbank.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that all homeless people are bad.
No.
But
one more thing I want to add to that. Cletus informed me that night we were looking something up. We went into a Discord and started talking about stuff, trying to figure out where he could have went. There are people released from the county jail, which is right there.
Yes, there are.
All night long. All night
Yes.
long. And they walk out of there, and it very easily could have been anybody could have grabbed him, tried to mug him, tried to something, and boom, that's all it takes.
And any one of those bridges, there's a pedestrian bridge, but I doubt he made it to that bridge from where he was, because he was on the Gay Street side. Now, and I will tell you this, where he was on the Gay Street side, if you turn, because you could see, if you saw where, what's his name was filming from downtown Nashville.
Right.
You could see Titan Stadium on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So if you walk down to where he was on Gay Street, and you take one of those other streets and it goes up by Titan Stadium, there's a truck stop right across from there. And they have that truck stop. It is so bad in that area. They have a fence around that truck stop. It is horrible. That is a terrible area. And his friend, and he probably, I would be willing to, because my son will never set his drink down. That's the one thing I've told. I won't set mine down.
Nope,
but that's the one thing I have told him. Never, you always have one of your friends watch your drink. You never leave your drink alone.
Right,
so,
right.
But if his drink tasted funky, I guarantee you and it could have been one of his frat brothers that roofied that drink. Because they're little, and pardon me, but they're little shitheads.
They do. They play jokes on each other all the time. Yes.
But that's not funny. And then for them to be there and go out the next day when one of their frat brothers is missing, his friends.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That blew my mind completely.
I'm sitting here. I didn't know that till I heard it on this today. Mm-hmm. But I'm sitting here going, what?
Yeah, that blows my mind completely. And there needs to be, and you heard it just like the rest of us. There needs to be a deeper investigation done on this. And they said it. They said there's something going on. Every time we go to get somewhere, there's a wall. We run into a wall and they turn us away. Something's not right with that. I don't know what the deal is, but
you know that the chapters of the fraternity are going to bond together, Dago, and you know that they are going to try and prevent that with whatever they can, because those chapters in that on those college campuses, they're tight.
Absolutely.
And they do not want to get thrown off of a college campus.
Yeah, and they don't want They can't have the fraternity suspended. They can't do this. They can't do that. So just like with what we've all seen in Idaho, everybody is hush hush because this has to be a certain way and that has to be a certain way and all these other things. It's ridiculous at this point. And I agree with you. You're not you're not gonna they're not gonna talk about anything. And like they said, those kids, if they really cared about him, should have went to his parents and said, hey, this is what happened. Can we help you with this? Can we help with that? Can we do this? Nobody has approached them not one time.
And then they called his mother before they called the police. Terry, I am so sorry. Speak whenever you're ready. Just interrupt me.
That's sad.
No, I'm so sorry. That was my dog. I live in Ohio too, and it thundered, and she's a Shorkie. So, and then somebody rang the doorbell. So I apologize. Keep going.
No, you're fine. But no, I just, and you don't ever let somebody that you care about, and really in fraternities, they're not your friends. It's a college life. You're going to know those people for 4 years, and most of them are going to go their separate ways. My brother went to school for, how long did he go to school after college? Oh, he went like 7 years because he's a veterinarian, but he went like 7 years. He never joined a fraternity when he went the first time. Then the second time, of course, when you're getting your master's, you don't. But the first time, he never joined a fraternity because he is highly anti-fraternity. And
like I said a while back, when we first started talking about fraternities, I never went to college. I made that mistake. Well, no, it's not a mistake. It was the best thing. One of the best things ever happened to me. But my ex creature, as I call her, ended up with my first child. So I had to get a job, and I ended up getting into the fire and EMS service. So I never went to college. But right before that, I would go to Ohio State University because a lot of my friends went there and party all weekend long with these people that were in frats and stuff like that. Okay. And I know a lot of the stuff that goes on, and it's never talked about after that. Anything that does happen is swept under the rug, and they move along with their lives like nothing ever happened. And I guarantee you that it's gotten worse, and it continues to happen more and more and more because that's the way it's always been, and it's wrong. When I was 18 years old, whatever, I didn't care because it wasn't me. I took care of myself, and me and my friends watched each other's backs.
Right.
That's how that was, and that's how it should be. That's why this has completely thrown me under. It just blew my mind again because you don't see that happen. It's not supposed to, and yet here we are.
But if they do talk about it, if they do talk about what happens at a frat party or at the frat house, I'm sure the fraternity makes them feel threatened.
Yes.
Anybody in that fraternity would make them feel threatened.
Well, I read something to a group of you. A lot of you guys weren't in here at that time when Idaho first came out. I started going through the fraternity rules and this and that. I read something one time, and it was through the Sigma Chi. The main rule, the first 3 rules, if something happens, is one of them. You contact whoever the person in charge of your fraternity house, blah, blah, blah. You let them know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then you contact authorities upon, I can't think of the word, whatever recommendation. There it is. What? No. You contact authorities or emergency services, and then you contact the fraternity president or whoever the hell you're supposed to call. That was what it was. The president of your fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's a rule. That's a rule.
Let me just say, I went to the school that Riley went to, and I was in a sorority, and yeah, things have changed a lot. I agree. However, that first of all, I don't even that shocks me to even hear that because I mean, we were not taught that. I mean, that wasn't, and we had, there were kegs. I mean, there was always a party, always a keg of beer everywhere. The sororities couldn't have them on property, but the Sigma Chi's were really close to us, and they were way across the other side of the campus. I mean, way. But here's the thing, and they were very good. They're not even on campus anymore. In fact, I just got called a couple days ago by a Tridelt that is a pledge, and they've got her on phone duty, and she's calling because we support St. Jude's. So she wanted, obviously me to give money. And anyway, I asked her some questions, and she had no idea what the Simakai house was. I'm like, you don't even know what Simakai? I mean, it's like huge. No, I don't think there is one here. Like, okay. And I said, you guys have beer at your parties that you go to? No, we don't have those either. I mean, they have knocked off half of the frats already off that campus.
Well, it's because there's been so many issues that have happened that they're losing them little by little by little by little, because of the way things have changed. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's not what it used to be. It really isn't. And you're proof positive, Terry, that it's not anything like it was when you were there. And that wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm going with this. That would be my next thing. Is you're right. It was not that long ago. In fact, if you think about it, it's my generation's kids that are just now graduating from college. So I mean, my friends, and by the way, I mean, my best friends, most of them are college and sorority,
right?
And it's amazing to me because I've asked all my friends, like, because they have kids in school right now, and they're saying the same thing, and they taught these kids. I mean, they're not like, I know they're good parents. I just don't understand.
Terry, I think
this is just
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Absolutely horrid.
Right, I
it
agree.
Breaks my heart, and I want to go punch somebody in that house.
Terry, I think there's a different bond from what I've seen. I didn't go to college because I saved my mom and dad that money. One of my brothers was the only one that was college material, but I think that there's a different bond with sororities, from what I gather, than there is with fraternity brothers. I could be mistaken, but I think there's a different bond. I think that, I think that women bond differently. And I think that women, actually kind of, look out for each other and all of that good stuff.
And I'm sorry, but I didn't see that. And the guys are all still extreme, and we still do stuff together. I mean, a bunch of the guys, but I do agree. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't know. I'm not in college, and my kids aren't. Well, I shouldn't say that. My daughter is, but she's not she's a freshman at Kent State. And for God's sakes, we can't even get her to drive. And she's almost 20. She's 19 and a half years old. I have to drive her to school and back. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Hey, my son didn't get it. My son's 32, and he did not get his driver's license till he was 19. And I'm like, dude, when I was 16, I told my daddy, and I will be 59 this year. When I was 16, I told my daddy kept me out of school that day to take me to get my driver's license.
Well, that's how it works. Maybe that's what's going on. I mean, no kid. I keep hearing from everyone that their kids don't want to drive now. So yeah, things have changed, but I don't get that part. I mean, my transmission went out in my disgusting pea green Maverick that I had to drive around school when it was cold and drive backwards around school for about 10 times so it would warm up and go forward. I mean, I didn't care. So where I'm going. Everybody I talk to says that their kids don't want to drive now. What is going on in this world? Are they scared? Would they just want to bother us to have to go take them someplace? I don't know.
I have one that doesn't want to drive either, and he's almost 30.
What's your thought, Dago?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Go ahead, Kimber.
Once my son got his license, now he kept the roads hot. Trust me. He went through a couple of cars. Somebody rear-ended him. We gave him my mom's car after she passed, and somebody rear-ended him. And then he rear-ended somebody else in his other car.
Mine went
and I'm like, good thing you got a trust fund from your grandmother because, you done gone through 2 cars. So, yeah. And
hello?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can you hear me, Dago?
I hear you. Yeah, Terry, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yeah. You can't hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, if you
But
go, you might have to drop out and come back in because I think you're on a delay now. Did you hear me? Hello? Are you there? Something happened, yeah. I think part of like what she was saying is part of it, I think, is laziness is some of it. Some of the generation, this generation, there's a lot of laziness. Not all of them, but some of them.
Oh no, I agree. Trust me, I agree. My son can be the laziest person in the world, and he's 32. But he gets up and goes to work every day, so that's the main thing. And he pays his bills and he pays his way. And everybody's like, he's 32 and still living at home. I'm like, look, he's my only child. I don't care how long he lives here. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I have 7 of them. Ages. Can you hear us, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but
I don't know. You booted me.
no, you were here the whole time.
Isn't that weird? Anyway, there's so
anyway,
many.
I made a comment. I said I think that some of the generation is lazy to some extent. I have 7 of them. Okay, I have a 31-year-old, 30-year-old, 29-year-old, 3 28-year-olds, and Caden, who's 17. And I mean, they all work. They all do what they're supposed to do. One of them can't, but and Caden, what his situation is. But in some senses, one of those kids, I have twins. One of the twins hasn't even tried to get his driver's license. He doesn't want to. He just lets his wife drive him around. And it's like, how is that comfortable for you? I'm not comfortable with that. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. But there's a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed since in 25, 30 years since we were those ages. Well, I'm not going to say that long, but you know what I mean. And
Dago, it's okay. You can say that because it has almost been that long for me.
It's been a while, but it's nothing like I expected it to be. And I don't know I think. I'll be honest with everybody. In my opinion, I think this right here, okay, and this is what's changed everything. It really has, in my opinion. There's just no there. Well, for one, okay, there really is no fear of consequence anymore. There's no fear of authority, and when you lose just those 2 things, what happens to society? Everything just implodes. Everybody does what they want to do with no fear of anything coming out of it. That's very scary. I'm sorry.
That's why I have the opinion, and this is just Kimber's opinion. But that's why I think they ought to bring the DP back for some of these people.
I agree.
Because they're not, all they're doing is putting them in jail, letting the taxpayers support them when they've done these horrific, nefarious things to people. It's awful. They've done these horrible, awful things to people. They're throwing them in jail. The parents of these people, the parents are paying the taxes to keep these people in jail. No, fired up.
Right.
I was listening to AR. Is that right? AR?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about this on one show. I don't remember whose. And he was talking about, believe it or not, people in there for the, that are death penalty or whatever, they have it made in prison.
Yes.
I mean, completely. They do the whole time. And they
proof positive. Yeah, proof positive. And Terry, you might remember this. 1 second, guys. Let me get this real quick.
Call from Katilyn.
You are live with Dago. How are you today?
Clue today. I wanted you to know some things, but you weren't there, Dago.
I'm sorry. I was reading up on that. Well, the girl's been found now, Katilyn Benfield, and I was looking at that and dealing with some other stuff, but I'm sorry I did miss it.
All right, because I gave you much love over there, and I wanted you to know. For a year now, I've been watching you very quietly, and I met Clue on your channel, and you're my main man. You're my first and only, Dago.
I really appreciate that.
Okay, you want to know about Nina? I watched Nina last night.
Oh boy, yes. What is your reaction to
Oh,
Nina?
I can't swear, so I'll be nice. Why is she involved in this situation? It made no sense. Her phony tears, there you go. She dressed like a model, like she was a movie star, and only talked about, him abusing her kids, and then she's abusing the husband. I don't get why she's there.
I don't either. I don't think she should have been because it has nothing to do with Sebastian.
That's what I'm saying, and I just found this, her being there she was a phony. And now you know how I feel about the biological father. You already know how I feel with the problems.
Yes.
Well, if everybody would go back to the beginning when Seth was talking and answering questions, there's so much different from what he's saying now.
I do agree. It's changed a lot. Things have changed a whole lot. Yes.
Do you want? I also heard Seth said that him and Chris were trying to get the kid, that Sebastian, to live with the biological father, and Chris was working on it with the wife. I couldn't believe that he said that.
That is true. I remember hearing that too.
Thank you, because no one else did. Dago.
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard. Seth. Somebody had asked him a question in one of the interviews, and he said, "Well, Katie wasn't having nothing to do with it, so Chris was working on her, trying to get her to agree to it, so on and so forth." So yeah, I remember hearing that.
Okay, so now that makes me think the two guys, they were getting along in the beginning, and I understand the biological father Seth. He's throwing shade over there, like he's deflecting shit. I think he had to stop talking the way he was talking because he was saying things that they make sense to me now, and I believe that the two guys are involved in something. I'm sorry to say that, but in my heart, in my opinion, I hope and pray Sebastian's alive.
I absolutely agree, and I respect your opinion very much, Helen. I pray to God that we see his face again, and I hope we see it soon.
Yeah, and then where they got on YouTube, it got out of control for them. Now they don't know what to do. I don't think they expected everybody to get involved like we do.
I agree. I said that a long time ago, that if they would have never, either side of them, I think a lot of people in here agree on this too, would have never came to YouTube and just maybe did interviews with mainstream media and left it alone, that it would not have turned into what it has. I agree with you.
That's right. And I have another question. This is and I know you'll know the answer because you are my main man. Okay. Who was the first one out of the three of them to come to YouTube and talk about this?
It was Chris and Katie.
Okay, so they brought it to YouTube.
Yeah, they did an interview. The first interview I believe they did was on a channel called Duchess.
Yes.
That was the first interview I saw. I showed it here.
Yes.
And then that was, after that, it was just one after another after that.
Right. And so how long after did the biological father come on?
I want to say that they did maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 interviews, and then he finally did. I think he had contacted JLR and started looking at social media, got involved in that, and then he decided to come out and start talking himself, from my understanding.
All right, because I wasn't sure about that. I didn't know who brought it to YouTube, because it just YouTube, all of us people are very involved because we want to find a child alive and safe. That's what we do.
Yes.
And they didn't think it was going to blow up like it did. Now we're not going to let it go till we have results in the end.
That's exactly what happens, and I've said that before. Anytime anything is brought to YouTube, it stays in YouTube. It does not leave YouTube until it's correct or fixed. That's all there is to it.
Right. So I think that. So I'm hoping and praying in my heart that I also seen last night on another show, because I kind of was sleuthing a little bit like you do, and I seen what did I see? I seen what did I forget? I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll remember tomorrow, because every time you include around, I'm going to call. But I do want you to know, you are my first and only Dago.
Well, I absolutely appreciate that, and we love you over here too, Miss Helen, very much.
All right, and I'm happy everybody's letting me get involved with this, because I was all nervous about this. And thank you very much, Dago. I do. I sincerely love you very much, and I thank you for letting me, meet Clue.
And we love you too, absolutely. And you're welcome anytime to call or jump up here, okay?
Okay, honey. I love you guys. Everybody have a good day, and thank you, Dago, so much, honey.
Yes, ma'am. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye, Dago.
Oh, I love her to death. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
And she's
awesome.
And
she is. Go ahead, guys.
I'm curious. The more channels, the more, and instead of everybody working on the same case, I really think we need to be getting more cases out there. Does it?
Yeah, that's my whole. It's like you read my mind sometimes, Jerry. That's something I was just talking about in my Discord with some of my moderators this morning. Is that there's going to be so much more. You'll see towards the end of this something I'm going to play, and I'm going to start playing it on every one of my shows. There's going to be. I'm not that, and don't take this the wrong way, folks. I'm not going to stop looking at Sebastian or anything like that, but there's going to be so many more that I'm going to start throwing out here that we're going to start looking at, just like with Katilyn today. That was just the first of many, because there's so many, okay, whether it's children or adults or whatever. Of course, I'm going to jump on the children's cases first and foremost, because those are the most important to me. Not that the others aren't, but we got to get something going. We need to get the train moving and start huffing along and get this out there. So yes, we are going to be running them 100%.
Yeah, I think it's great that everybody's working, but it's like, I think Idaho kind of scared creators to try something new. I really do, because everybody, no, don't leave. And it's like, but it hit a wall, and somebody had to do something, and then you guys started doing it, and I think I see so much help with that. Of getting
I agree, and I started moving little by little out of Idaho, doing different things, and I kept telling everybody, I'm not leaving Idaho, folks. And people were getting mad. They're like, if you leave Idaho, I'm leaving you, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, listen, I cover true crime, not true Idaho, folks. I got to cover crime in general. And what I initially started with was missing persons, okay, and children, and my biggest passion is the trafficking scenarios and stuff like that. And we got a big show coming, like a big multiple type scenario show coming this direction that we're going to be putting out there and making awareness for all this stuff. With all of you people in here that can spend the time putting all this stuff out there, why wouldn't we do stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and now that I've become close with Arctic and Duchess and all these other people, Mind of Monsters, we have the ability to work together and do this as a unit and just roll out there and get these names rolling as much as we can, and maybe make a little bit of a difference, you guys. I know, like I said, we're just scratching the surface, but the more of us there are, the more that can happen. Go ahead, Kimber.
This is nothing, and it's nothing against the Sebastian case, because Sebastian needs to be found.
Right.
It's here. It's in Middle Tennessee. It's 20 minutes away from me. Sebastian needs to be found. But I will say this: since Sebastian went missing, I've gone down the rabbit hole with you guys, and that's when I got interested in all this true crime. Arctic, hi Arctic.
Hi.
He posts, so there's so many other missing children that, and everybody's focusing on Sebastian, but they're not. But the thing is, they're not focusing on Sebastian. They're focusing on the Proudfoots. They're focusing on Seth. They're focusing on what law enforcement is or is not doing. Law enforcement is not, they're keeping everything close to their chest. Maybe they should come out and say, hey, this or that every once in a while, but they may not be able to.
And I agree.
Exactly. And we should have learned a lesson from the Summer Wells case. We should have learned a lesson from the Quentin Simon case, but we never learned that lesson. It's like, instead, the true slime community said, hold my fucking beer. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and that's the problem, Arctic. None of what they're. I've gone by some of this stuff will come up on my, and I'll just don't recommend this channel, because I was subscribed to so many, and I have and I'm only subscribed to very few now, because the rest are slime, and that's what I've realized. Sorry guys, but y'all are. Hope y'all are lurking.
Well, that's a fact. I refuse to come in here and do a show about, oh my God, did you see what happened when Chris did this to Katie, and when Katie did this to this? That has nothing to do with this child.
And I have seen where like people are still going over that Smiley interview. It'll pop up and it's like, and you can see like the video at first. And I'm like, don't recommend this channel. They're still going over the video of Smiley's video. And that's been like 2 months ago. And
but you know what drives me nuts? You know what drives me nuts, Kimber?
4 hours on it. 4 hours.
You know what drives me nuts, though? The same people that are over there in that Smiley Hose chat are the same ones that come over here and to my channel and be like, I agree with you, Arctic. I agree with you, Dago. A bunch of two-faced hypocrites.
I've seen it too. He's right. I've seen it.
I was subscribed to Smiley. I am no longer subscribed to Smiley. And I said it. And I just said it, and I'll say it again. I am no longer subscribed to Smiley because if you're going to report it, if you're going to talk about it, talk about the facts. And Arctic, I would love to be on your panel one night.
I would have absolutely no issue with that. I would love to have you come up.
I would love to go on panel with you. I did set my notifications today so that when you are on, I will get notifications when you are on lives. So I'll get notifications. Now, if I'm at work, it's a little harder, but if you're on at night, I would love to go on panel with you.
And I don't do a whole lot of lives, but I am going to start doing more of them. I plan on bringing Dago on my panel. I'm going to have him and Dutch and maybe Mind of Monsters on more, but I plan on working a lot more with Dago than what I've done in the past. And of course, I do a lot of work with Dutchie. So
yeah.
But I'm fixing to start. I'm thinking about starting my own channel. I'm not really sure how to do the startup and all of that. So I'm thinking about it because I'm fixing.
I'll help you. I've helped everybody that I could.
Me too.
I have so many questions, but what I'm fixing to start doing is I want to get into the missing kids, but I also want to get into like what y'all are talking about and the percentage of, like human trafficking in the states, where there's the most missing kids. And just like today we were talking about, they consider these 14 and 15-year-olds runaways. Some of the ones, and they consider them runaways. They don't put out these Amber Alerts. But, okay, so you're not putting out an Amber Alert. Look at the amount of human trafficking in that state.
It's insane.
Exactly.
It is insane. You're absolutely right.
Because that doesn't mean that they weren't talking to someone nefarious on the internet that they thought was a 16-year-old person,
exactly.
a boy or a girl that they thought, and it's a 40-year-old in tidy whities. They don't know.
100%.
And that goes back to my theory on Sebastian's case, because from day one, when I heard that Sebastian was a gamer, I don't care how much those parents protest that he didn't have access to the internet. If a kid wants to get online, he's going to find a way. It takes one neighbor with an open Wi-Fi network, one McDonald's that's got a Wi-Fi network. They're going to find a way to get online. And those gaming communities are the absolute worst.
100%. I told you guys, my child is on the spectrum, and he brought home those Chromebooks from school. They give them to all the kids, and I talked to the people at the school. I said, tell me now, especially over COVID, they did all their stuff at home, making sure that he can't get on this, he can't get on that, because we didn't allow him to do that kind of stuff when he was younger, right? Okay? No, Mr. Mayors, they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't do this. 2 weeks later, hey, Dad, because we all collect toys here, we've talked about it. Did you see this bigger than this? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Wait a minute, what? What are you doing? I walk over and he's looking on eBay, and I said, how did you get to that? Oh, like this, boom, 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 boom. Bingo, he's there. So don't tell me they can't get into internet access and open things up, because they're smarter than we are with this stuff, you guys.
Yes, they are.
Sorry.
I had a friend who, she lived in Massachusetts, and her son wasn't autistic, but they didn't know how to classify it, so they classified it as autistic. He was nonverbal. He used the keyboard to talk.
Oh, okay. I know it's probably Katilyn syndrome. I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
But let me tell you this. This child, he was sick one time, and she kept her credit card, like stored for the grocery store and stuff. She said she was sitting there one day, and the grocery store literally showed up with an order of groceries, because he had gone online where he was feeling better and he had ordered all this sweet stuff, everything he loved. And he ordered a couple of roasts and stuff, but he ordered like $300 and something worth of groceries. I kid you not.
See? And that's why I said, especially if he's got a Nintendo Switch, there's a cell phone. And we've heard Seth say that he was sitting there. I'm not talking bad about him. Don't take this the wrong way. But he said he would be sitting there doing this and that and everything else. And he had been left alone while Seth was working a couple different times too, so on and so forth. That's all it takes. You got to have a device for a few minutes. Boom, boom, boom. You're there. That's all it takes.
Do you think you know what? You just made me remember something. When Seth was talking to, and I can't remember the name. It's the group, the Facebook. Or I'm sorry, the YouTube group that he was talking to when he was telling about the Subway sandwich and all that. But
yeah,
he mentioned that Sebastian would watch him on his own phone do stuff. And
yes, ma'am.
He told Sebastian, you know what, we can get you your own so you don't have to play on mine. He's like, no, that's okay, Dad. I would rather watch you. In other words, he's learning as he's watching him.
I'm telling you right now, autistic children are smarter than we are, folks, period.
And the thing about Seth's phone, and I'm not throwing shade, but the thing about Seth's phone is Seth's phone was probably already hooked up to his home Wi-Fi. So when Sebastian got that phone, it was on Wi-Fi.
That's right, and it takes one person. And I know for a fact that Minecraft, it's not just a kiddie game. There's adults that get on there and play that too, and they talk to each other, so on and so forth. It happens. There's 50-year-old men that sit in here and talk to 10-year-old kids. It's weird. I'm sorry, but it's weird. I'm not talking down about anybody. It's weird. There's no reason.
I mean, it's not just fucking Minecraft. It's Roblox and Fortnite. Yep. I mean, I can't tell you the number of cases I have covered where a child goes missing and they've been lured away by some predator on these damn games.
All it takes. Bingo.
My son plays online games, and of course, he plays them very loudly with his friends because he's got some friends he plays online with.
Yeah.
And of course, he's 32. He knows the role. But kids will come in there. They are playing. They're cussing. Trust me, they are cussing because I had to shut his door. I'm like, shut up.
I know.
But kids come in there, and he's like, and he's telling them, get off the internet. And I'm like, who are you talking to? And he goes, Mom, this kid's like 12.
Mm-hmm. My son was playing Fortnite one night with him, his friend, his girlfriend, and some 6-year-old kid. And they were swearing. And I'm like, no, come on now. There's a little child in here. You guys know better than that, so on and so forth. And my son had enough coof to, say, hey, guys, come on. Like, let's not do that.
But that kid, but you think about it, my son and his friends, they're good kids. They're good. Well, I call them kids because they're kids to me. But they're good kids, and I know they wouldn't do anything. But let's take a turn here. If that was somebody that wanted to do something nefarious, they could just be like, oh, hey, how are you? Can you meet me here? Where do you live? And a 12-year-old's going to tell you everything about their life down to how their parents get along. That's just how they are. And anybody younger than that will.
Because I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have ADHD, and if I don't say what I'm thinking, I forget it.
I do too.
When I heard that Sebastian, because my child's the same way, we just had this conversation last night. He had a breakdown. He was crying. A lot of these kids don't have friends, okay? And when Katie stated that Sebastian said one time that we asked him what he wanted for Christmas, and he said he wanted friends, I started crying right here on the live stream because I know that feeling from my own child, okay?
Right.
And all it's going to take is one person to talk to him online somewhere and that lives near him. There's a SRO that lives literally 4 minutes away from him that we've been looking at lately, okay?
Uh-huh.
And Salty, I've been looking at. She's been doing more of the work on everything, but that's what we're doing, okay? And that person, all they got to hear is one time. Where do you live? Oh, I live close to you too. You want to be my friend? So absolutely, I want to be your friend.
You want to come to my house and play this game? You want to come to my house and play this game?
I have this game. Have you ever heard of this game? Yeah, I got this too. I have that. I have an arcade machine in my house. I have this. It would be, what do you like, candy? Do you like that? I mean, 15-year-old, yes, as mind as that of probably a 7 or 8-year-old, okay? Remember that. So that's all it takes is one person, and all they got to do is hike on through them backyards, walk up to the window. Here I am. Let's go. Bye. That's the end of it.
Exactly. Not only that, but you take in mind that all he wanted was a friend, and he's got a toxic environment in both of his home lives, it seems. And yeah, of course, he's going to take any outlet he can to get away from all the BS. I mean,
that's it too. That's all it takes to trigger. That's another thing. With what he has, we looked into who he was to find out a little bit more about him. Reading those documents, he bites himself, he hits himself, and then he throws himself on the ground. Okay, which means those are the things. When that stuff happens, that means he's stressed about something. Something triggered him. Well, no one on in both households. Anything could trigger him. One thing that has been bothering me this entire time, and Salty just said it again. I swear to God, this woman reads my mind. Okay, that right there, the thud. Okay. That should have been investigated immediately, and it wasn't. And I guarantee you that thud has everything to do with where this child is right now.
I agree. I think that was him going out the bedroom. I think that was him going out that bedroom window.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
I talked to my friend in New York who, and I know you deal with it, they go on a daily basis with Caden. But I talked to my friend in New York. Her son is low. He is on the low end of the spectrum. He is I have another friend in New York, and she's one of my best friends. Her son, Jake, he is on the low end of the spectrum. He is nonverbal. I have met Jake. Jake does not like, of course, I'll hug him, but, he doesn't like people, in his personal space bubble. Get out of his personal space. Because he'll tell me he loves me and all of that. But when you touch him, he kind of, cringes. So, and it's not, it's just he has sensory issues, and he doesn't like that.
And my son is the exact opposite of that. He has to touch you, and people get uncomfortable with that. Just as like what they were talking about with Sebastian, where people were uncomfortable with him. He wants to hug everybody and show that he loves them, and he wants to show his affection. So I get what you're saying.
But I asked my best friend. I said, I want to ask you something. She said, Kim, I'm going to tell you something. First of all, those parents, she goes, they may have done nothing, and they're looking at, they're going through the most horrific time of their life. She said, but secondly, with autism, she said, anything is possible. She told me her son opened the car, and Jake opened the car door one time when she was going down the road at 60 miles an hour. She said, I never thought he would do that, but he did. Fortunately, he was in his seatbelt and stuff, but he still did it. So that's something she never thought he would do, but he did it. She said, autism is something that you always have to be in front of.
Yeah,
she said, you always have to be in front of him. And she said, I can't. She said, he could, just because they say he's never done it, doesn't mean him being autistic that he wouldn't. Something could have.
Right. There's always going to be a first time for everything, you guys. And there has always been a first time for my child as well. He climbed out a window because he was an escape artist. That's another big one that autistic kids do. I had my house locked down like Fort Knox, and all I wanted to do was go to the bathroom. I took him to his bedroom, which was right across the hall from the bathroom, and I'm sitting in there watching his door to make sure he got past me somehow. God forbid I blinked, and down the stairs he goes. And he found a way to get out the window because they think about things that we don't think about, okay? Out the window, down the sidewalk, going to grandma's house because that's the way we drove. Thank God my neighbors knew him and everything was cool as I'm running around frantically looking for him. But then all the windows got locked.
But at the same time, everybody, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dago. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I do it all the time. I'm sorry.
But at the same time, everybody's sitting here going, well, he's high functioning. And I'm like, but you have to look at the big picture. When they told us what he does when he's triggered, when they told us when he gets triggered, he lays on the ground, he throws a fit, he bites us. That's huge because that gave us more insight into Sebastian as an autistic child. Yes, and I'm not saying that just an autistic child might do that, but that gave us more insight into what he does when he's triggered.
Exactly. Exactly. And if anything, the fact that Sebastian's high functioning should give more credence to the fact that he could have gotten online, that he could have left of his own free will, that he could have made his great escape. And I want to reference something that you were talking about earlier, Kimber, the fact that these parents are going through the worst traumatic experience that they'll probably ever go through in their life. This isn't the first time we've seen this. Look at the Michael Vaughn case. How long were Brandy and Tyler attacked, saying they had something to do with Monkey's disappearance, when it turns out they had nothing to do with it, that it was an RSO in the neighborhood that was responsible for Michael going missing. I mean, I'm tired of families getting attacked over and over and over again when you ain't got shit to back up your claims.
That's right.
I saw somebody post that, that they were saying, and of course I saw it on Facebook today, that Chris passed his polygraph. I don't know. It's speculation because it was posted on Facebook. It's speculation. But when they talk about Chris, and this is what I'm talking about. They talk about Chris passing his polygraph. And everybody's like, well, he did this and he did that to pass it. But if Seth Rogers sat up there and passed or failed a polygraph, they're going to make up 1,000 excuses why Seth failed it. He's tired. He's taking medication. He's this, he's that. And he is tired because I know he's been out looking. But you can't throw shade at one side and then turn around and say, well, because y'all demanded a polygraph from Chris Proudfoot and he passes, and then y'all mad because he passed.
That's
Shut
right.
up. Shut the hell up.
Can I?
Thank you. That is absolutely. Go ahead. Go ahead, Terry.
Polygraph? What's up with the polygraph? In no other cases have I seen a polygraph test pushed and talked about so much. First of all,
it's because it's because they've been tried in the court of public opinion, Terry. You know that, Terry. You've seen it. They've been tried in the court of public opinion. So the public opinion thinks that Chris should take a polygraph. But if Chris passes it, there's reasons why he could have passed it, because he's a narcissist. He's this, he's that. But if Seth fails, there's 400 excuses why Seth failed. You're going to make excuse. You can't do that. It makes me. I was so mad this morning.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander too. 100%.
How much does that cost?
Amen.
I'm sorry.
How much does it cost?
I think it varies between where you're at. But I think they were both offered to be paid for both of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think Chris Proudfoot did his through the TBI, because see, here was the deal. Chris said that the TBI had advised him not to take Nancy Grace's polygraph.
Yes.
And then Seth went in a chat, and there are screenshots of these words from Seth Rogers. And Seth said that the TBI told him to be careful taking Aunt Nancy's polygraph.
Mm-hmm.
They did. So that is probably why Chris Proudfoot didn't. But everybody got mad because he wouldn't take Aunt Nancy's polygraph. So now it's
either. I would not have took the
Here's the thing. I would never take a polygraph examination under any circumstances, because polygraphs are junk science. There's reasons why polygraphs aren't allowed in court. And even the inventor of the polygraph has said that he wishes he never invented the damn thing because it's not accurate.
It's not, because if Katie had gone in there, if they had taken a polygraph on the day that Sebastian went missing, Katie's a nervous wreck. She's stressed. She's going to fail.
Right.
Because she's upset. Not because she's done something, because her son is missing.
Absolutely. And then, like I said, with Seth being on the medication he's been on, there are multiple medication, and I'm not saying that it was done on purpose, guys. I'm just telling you, I know this because I researched it. There's multiple medications you can be on that will drop your heart rate and your blood pressure down to the point where it is going to give an inconsistency in that kind of a test. Therefore, they're garbage. They're junk science, just like Arctic said. They're not anything, as far as I'm concerned. They're junk. So.
And then I saw something else on Facebook today. which, the rumor mill. But I saw something in one of the groups today. I got kicked out of the big group, the big 30,000 group. I got kicked out of that one because I got in a fight with one of the admins. So anyway, I saw this on Facebook today. They're talking about, Seth has hired the private investigators, and that has been on the news here in Tennessee, in Nashville, that Seth has hired two private investigators. Okay, so he's hired 2 private investigators, but there are people on Facebook that think that the Proudfoots should let they're like, well, does a private investigator need a search warrant? Well, a private investigator can't just come in my house regardless. A private investigator has nothing to do with law enforcement. So a law enforcement needs a search warrant. Private investigators can't search your home regardless. But they think that, yes, true, I got kicked out of JLR's group because I got in a fight with one of the admins. Thank you.
I bet you feel so bad right now too, right?
Yeah, I cried. I lost about 2 seconds of sleep. But no, they think that Katie and Chris should let these private investigators that Seth has hired come in and let them search the house. I'm like, okay, first of all, law enforcement, Ken Weiderman I think his last name's Weiderman, of the Sumner County Emergency Management has said that house has been searched 10 times. He said that himself. But they think that the public, the court of public opinion, the same ones that have damned Chris and Katie to hell for we don't know what, because there's no evidence. They think that they should let the private investigators that Seth Rogers has hired come in and search their house. First of all, if something like this was going on and my ex-husband was acting like this, no way, because they could plant anything in that house. Nope.
Exactly. And going back to the court of public opinion, it has gotten so bad that Seth Rogers could go on a panel with a pickaxe, a shovel, and a hefty bag covered in blood and say he found Sebastian, and everyone would still be trying to blame Chris and Katie.
Thank you, sir. That's a fact.
Yep. He sure could. And they have stalked those people. And, it's not really, and I don't think it's safe as mad. And of course, everybody thought that this had happened, that Katie and Chris had something to do with it. I don't know. I jumped on that bandwagon. Katie and Chris, if y'all are listening, I am so sorry. I should not have jumped on that bandwagon. I apologize for jumping on that bandwagon. But it's not safe to be telling Katie and Chris's location.
No.
They're stalking these people. And I can tell you right now, law enforcement knows where Katie and Chris are, and they know where Seth is.
Yes.
They know where they are. They know where they are. And everybody's like, well, I wonder if they've done this. Well, duh, we're 6 weeks into the investigation. I don't think, but I don't think, but I'm sorry about this. This is my opinion, strictly my opinion. I don't think that Seth even if he's just a jailer, he works for the police department in some form, in some facet. I do not think that he should be out there throwing shade at law enforcement.
Nope, I agree. And he works for the county too. Okay, and here's the thing, folks.
I don't think Seth's going to have a job to go back to. He better hang on to all that GoFundMe money.
Probably not. Probably, I agree with you on that too. But guys, please understand something. If Katie or Chris or Seth had done anything nefarious, like that was on the surface, that was seen, that was like just general knowledge, folks, that was found out, it would be in jail right now, okay? They would have been arrested right now. They're not going to let them float around doing whatever they want, knowing that they've done something, okay? Now, if they haven't figured it out yet and somebody did something, that's different. But as of right now, they have stated multiple times that Chris and Katie Proudfoot have not done anything, as far as they can tell, nefarious in this situation, and same with Seth. So I don't understand why we're going at these three nonstop when we still have this child that nobody has any idea where he is. That is why we're this in the beginning. Not nothing against anybody that's up here at all. I'm just saying that's what's going on in these other channels.
And somebody took a picture of at the campsite the other day, and it was supposedly of Chris and Katie, but it was from the back, and they're like, "Oh, look at them, they're partying it up." Well, you know what? If you're going to take a picture and you're going to tell me it's Katie Proudfoot, you better be showing me her face.
Right, and that's
to show me her face, because and they could have been having a burger with those people. The people still have to eat. I'm sorry. And you can't say, "I wouldn't eat if my child wasn't missing." It's been 6 weeks. You got to eat or you're going to be dead.
They said it themselves when JLR went into that restaurant after he was followed him and he took a picture. Chris said it. We got to eat, folks. We were sitting there going over paperwork and this and that. We got to eat. They do got to eat. Okay. That stuff is so damn ridiculous. It makes me sick. Leave them alone. Go if you want to do something, and that goes to everybody that's following them around and doing this and doing that. You want to do something, go look for them. Go put up don't even do that. Go put up a flyer. Okay.
Well, you know, Dago, all the searches are private now because that's just how they've made them.
Oh, that's why I said don't do that. Just go put up flyers or do what we're doing. Whatever. Just talk about it. Keep the awareness out there.
But they don't. I mean, they don't want the parents out there either because of the fact. Excuse me, my dog barked. Because of the fact that because they don't want the parents to walk up on it. First of all, B, if one of them did something, if one of the three of them did something, and they don't want the search groups to be public either, because if somebody up there did something to him, they're gonna, if they find, if somebody, God forbid, because I don't even like to put this out in the universe that somebody did something to Sebastian. I don't even like to put it out there, but they could contaminate the crime scene.
Agreed. Yes, that's it right there.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. And that's another thing. If you're gonna go out there searching for this boy, keep your fucking cameras off. If you come up on him and you're streaming live on YouTube, do you want that to be the way his family finds out something tragic has happened to him?
Oh,
that's
Lord.
100% fact.
Call from a little bit.
Hello. You're live with Dago and everybody else. How you doing, Little Bit?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. What can we do for you?
Called in to put in some of my opinion too, but I didn't mean to interrupt anybody.
No, that's okay. Can everybody hear her okay?
Yep.
Okay. Well, what's going on?
Well, Kimber, I didn't realize you couldn't see chat. I'd already sent it and then read that you couldn't see chat. But you had mentioned that you think Sebastian is alive and hidden somewhere.
I don't know if he's hidden somewhere, but I think I want to believe he's alive, and I don't like to put out there that he's not alive, but I do believe he is. I just don't believe he's gone. I just don't.
I was just curious why. I mean, I have hope too, but I just didn't know if maybe you heard or knew something.
No, I don't know anything. Let me tell you though, Lil. Sometimes when Seth speaks, he'll go, "Oh, we're gonna find him, and he is alive." His demeanor changes.
Yeah,
and it's not just a hope. It's like he knows he's alive.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not throwing shade, then that's just my opinion. But I think that someone has him. I don't know who has him. I can't say that the Bowersox have him. I can't say that the Proudfoots hid him. I can't say that Seth hid him. I can't say that Seth's parents hid him. But I just think that the demeanor that like Seth saying he's somewhere in a room playing video games. If your child's missing, the last thing you're gonna envision is him sitting in a room somewhere playing video games.
Right. I agree with that.
I don't think that's something that if my child was missing, I would envision. If my child was missing, I'm going to envision him at that age. I would envision him being out there cold and hungry and thirsty and wanting his mom and his dad. You know, that's how I would envision him if my son was missing. But that's just, like I said, that's just my opinion. I have a very strong one sometimes. So,
No, I understand.
but I just don't like to put it out in the universe either that something bad happened to Sebastian.
I think we're all like that. I think that Seth is just trying to be hopeful. I do not think he's involved. Right. I get that feeling too. I do feel that he's still with us. And that's what I want to feel. And I just truly think that somebody lured him and they're keeping him right now. That's my thought on it, period. You know, that's just my theory. That's all. And I want to hope that means that he's safe and that he's going to be okay, and that we're gonna break it open here soon, and he's going to come home. That's what my hope is, honestly.
Right.
So,
David, you had such a good point though when you were talking, and I thought about that before. And I've always, I thought at one point in time that Sebastian was being hit out. I didn't know the reasons why or anything, but when you said, "Will you be my friend?" I think it was just those specific words at that moment reminded me of my childhood. And it reminded me, and it made me think of Sebastian. And they talk about abduction and that there's no signs. Well, somebody tapped on your window because that's what they're expecting to hear. When maybe that was prearranged with somebody who did lure him out of the house, you wouldn't have a broken window. You wouldn't have. And I'll tell you what, the last 5 days, I have had my two youngest granddaughters, and my she's almost 4, does have Russell Silver syndrome, which she is nonverbal and has a form of autism. I took my shoes off about 3 days, well, too late, but 3 days into their stay, because she hears everything. It doesn't matter. She takes melatonin to go to bed. Doesn't matter how sound her sleep is. She can hear that. And I thought about it, and I was like, if he's autistic and she has autism, or, I don't know how much, but, well, okay, that sounded like Dale Vaughn there. How much? But I took my shoes off because I didn't want to be noisy and wake her up. So why wouldn't, I would think Sebastian would have thought the same way if he was to leave on his own. I don't think the shoes in that theory could be so far off. That, and then he heard the tap, and that's his friend coming to get him. And don't tell your parents, because my parents will be, get mad, or they'll find out. Sebastian's not going to know, and it's some 45-year-old freak that maybe we don't know about. I don't know. I'm just saying, if he was abducted, it doesn't have to be
the thing is,
a violent thing.
Right. And the thing is that person, that 45-year-old freak, in Sebastian's mind, could still be his friend, and he could go with him because of that situation being something he wants more than anything in the world. That is why I believed that for a long time with this case now, and I won't let that go. That's just. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
I agree, Lil. And if somebody came up and tapped on his window, the thud that Katie heard could have been some, like Dago said, somebody helping him, and him going out the window, or somebody helping him out the window.
And his response to that was when she said, "Did you fall out of bed, bud?" "Oh no, Mom, I'm fine. Go to sleep. Don't pay," basically meaning don't pay attention to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's always the worst time, when they say don't pay attention to me.
That's basically what he's saying when he's telling her, "No, I'm fine. Go to sleep. Forget about what I'm doing." You know what I mean?
Yeah, didn't think about that. Let me ask. He was not diagnosed with autism until a year ago, right?
Last October, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he was going to a regular school with regular kids that didn't have any types of mental problems, correct?
Right.
And he was in class with these kids. So what are your thoughts about this maybe being some sort of a bully type of thing?
I think they would have figured something about that out already. Just from talking with teachers and other kids and things like that. That's just, I think they'd have picked up on that already. But it is. I thought about that in the beginning, Terry, honestly. But like I said, I think the law enforcement would have picked up on that in the beginning.
My son at 12 was getting bullied, and he doesn't have autism or anything. Come to find out, he was actually sneaking out too. They were and doing,
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
you just don't always know. You think you do.
I agree. I do agree. Welcome, Mr. Steve, again with True Crime Web. Mr. Steve says, one of the most touching conversations that I ever had was with a cold case father who said early in their investigations, you can't eat without thinking, are they eating and how afraid are they? These are facts. That's an absolute fact right there. Thank you, Steve, very much. I appreciate that. That's Sebastian's not even my child, and I think that about him. Okay? That's the problem with this case. I think this case, I said this about a month ago, about a half a month ago, that all of us out here that have been following this case, this child has become our child as well, because we want, like, I've literally had breakdowns while I was live, because I have this child that I see and deal with every day, and I know what I would feel like and what I have felt like when my son goes through things, okay? And to attack these families that are going through this, it makes me so mad because of that. And that's both sides, folks. Okay, that's both sides. Now, on top of that, I'm scared to death for this child, for what he could be going through, and for the fact that he's not understanding it, probably, okay? He's not on his medications like he should be. None of that stuff. And that's what has got me so wrapped up with this, because he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He may understand, but he doesn't understand at the same time. As why? Why is this happening to me? Where are my mom and dad? Why am I not home? Things like that. I think about that stuff all the time, you guys. I lose sleep over that kind of stuff.
Every time it storms here, every time it rains here, every time they call for bad storms, I think, is he out there in this weather? Is he out there in this weather? It's just something, you can't stop thinking about it. I think, is he out there in this weather?
They asked when they, I think it was Nancy that asked Katie, when did she, does she normally tuck him in, or what's her normal, bed night ritual? And she said, well, she doesn't go, and I don't know who it was asking. So, but anyway, she said that she doesn't really go in and tuck him in, anymore since he's turned 15. But they keep saying he's like, what's he like? He may be 15 in reality, but he is in his mind, he's like 10. Is that right?
I think that's what they said.
Roughly, yeah. Just like my son's 17, but his mentality is like maybe 11 or 12. A little bit more maturity, but yeah, in the end result.
So my thought is, well, as a mom, why would you think of him as, yeah, I get it that you think of him as 15. You want him to be normal and you want him to feel normal. And I get that. But at nighttime, he is like a 10-year-old. So I would, and especially if you hear that thump right away, he's not 15 in your mind as his mom, go check on a 10-year-old. Well, how, I think, well, how would I treat it if it was a 10-year-old as my son versus a 15-year-old? There's a big difference in 5 years.
Oh, definitely.
I agree. But at the same time, I feel like Seth in particular, but both sides, all three parents have kind of infantilized Sebastian. And I don't think we should be doing that either, because, autistic children are some of the most intelligent children. Hell, they're smarter than I am. Yeah. And, yeah, I think we need to just point that out, that, he's a highly intelligent, highly capable human being. On some respects, he may be a lower age, but in other respects, he may be smarter than all of us up on panel. So,
yes,
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think that that's like we were talking about the internet, and they're going, oh, he didn't have internet access, he couldn't get on the internet. Oh, I bet he could.
Yeah, I know.
I bet he could.
I know he can, and I can almost guarantee you guys, if I was a betting man, I would tell you right now, he has been on the internet. End of story. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. If he's at a regular school, he has, for sure.
Well, that's something else you got to understand. Regardless of whether or not he goes into that special class or not, he still goes to a public school. He still has people that are around him. And I'm sure not everybody is mean to him. All you got to do is ask somebody, hey, how do I do this? Can you show me?
Mhm.
Well, also Seth has said himself that Sebastian used to like to get on his Switch and watch YouTube videos. Well, I don't know how he's watching YouTube videos without access to the internet.
Because I'll tell you right now, Arctic, I truly believe, and this is not a down against Seth at all, but I noticed when I heard Seth tell the story about the pull-ups, something in my mind told me something. Something.
Oh no.
Hold on a minute.
Is that an Amber Alert?
That's what I
No.
was wondering.
Turn the news on. Hurry up.
Oh, a weather alert for you, Dago.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and talk. I'll be right back. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know too. Shoot. I don't live very far from it.
My husband's from Ohio, Terry.
Yeah, I'm from Missouri, but we're in Ohio.
Oh, my husband's from Wadsworth.
Okay, yeah, that's not too far from me.
Yeah,
I
he
live
lives.
in Hartville.
He's from up there. But
Oh,
I think Sebastian has the intelligence.
I think that all you do is think about any type of show or people that you know. I mean, autism. I don't think of them. I mean, you're right; they're so intelligent.
But I don't think I personally don't think a 15-year-old. I know I wouldn't have at 15, and I don't think my son would have had at 15 survival skills if I ran away.
Yeah.
That's just a regular 15-year-old. I wouldn't have had those survival skills if I'd have ran away at 15. So,
I agree, but there are cases out there. Look at the Alicia Navarro case. She was missing for 4 years, I believe it was. She turned up alive, and she turned herself into a police station, in fact. And then I covered another case like 2 or 3 days ago of a girl that had been missing for 10 years and showed up made contact with law enforcement, but didn't want anyone to know where she was. Some people just leave of their own accord because they're tired of the bullshit.
was that the one that they found on the East Coast, Arctic?
Yes.
Okay, the one that was gone for 10 years and they had done the age progression and everything. I saw that. And she was found.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, actually, she turned herself. She let everybody know where she was. So
yeah, I mean that's kind of what Alicia Navarro did too. She let everyone know where she was. She didn't want the person that she was with to be prosecuted. Said she left of her own accord. But at any rate, these people do turn up years and years later. Hell, look at Melissa Highsmith. I think that was 50 years she was missing, and they found her alive.
Did she leave on her own accord?
That one, I think she may have been kidnapped.
Yeah,
Well, folks, I think I'm gonna have to bring this to a close. This has been a great panel and a great show. I've really, really enjoyed this, and we're gonna do more of this. We're under a
warning.
Warning, yeah, Terry, it's a warning, and it's bad. It's black out here right now, and it's really quiet. It's freaking me out.
Okay. Is it for me too? Because I haven't looked at it. Is it for this area?
What county are you again?
Stark.
Yeah, Stark, Mahoning, Summit, and Portage, and Trumbull. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Bye.
All right, y'all stay safe. Take cover if you need to.
Stay safe, guys.
Yes, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it very much. We will be back. Appreciate you guys more than you know. Arctic, thank you. Kimber, Terry, all you guys, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Bye.
And like I said, everybody in chat, guys, God bless. Please, guys, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And don't change a thing about yourselves because you are the beautiful people. I do this because of you, and we do this together because of you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night. If everything calms down, I may pop back in here later on. We'll see what happens. Besides that, guys, and also, Lil Bit, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you very much.
We appreciate you. Thank you. Be safe.
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys. So, like I said, guys, I appreciate you very, very much. I will see you all very soon. Good night, guys, and God bless.